How you doing, guys? I know last week we weren't in the podcast, but I got a couple of things to mention on this one. Again, especially breaking down that 10K deal plus 293K in profit. And if I get a chance, I'll start breaking down this call. I don't know if I did it last time. You know what? I think I did. Let me get you another one. Okay, I think I did the breakdown one now. Let's see. Let's look at this one real quick. Hope everybody had a good couple of weeks. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Ugh. So we'll do 14 now. And my puppy goes wild. Oh, he's sleeping now. He's got a couple of shots this morning. No, daddy. No, daddy. Let's go and start with this one. And make sure I'm sharing the audio. Stop sharing. Share again. Yeah, I was sharing the audio.
So that we can come to an agreement to purchase your property. And is this the best number to contact you on in case
again,
you get this?
Starting again, the same thing. Always have your conveyor belt, the way you start your calls. Hey, just a moment. I'm thinking about my camera here. Come here. How you doing, guys? Go. So again, make it always like a conveyor belt. They keep calling us back. When it's initial contact, when they already agree to sell your house, perfect. Well, let me have your name, your last name, your email address in case we get disconnected. What's the best phone number to call you back? Again, always like a conveyor belt. Always like a conveyor belt. That's the only way that you're gonna be able to master the calls with the sellers, especially new sellers that you haven't talked to before, by mastering the conveyor belt. Always. Perfect. Follow the same script always. Just do this. What's going on, my Vic?
What's up, man? How's your week?
It was good, man. Good. I couldn't make it another. I was gonna make it on Wednesday, but I got sidetracked. But again, I got good news again before we get into this. What's it called? I was able to, I got like 3 leads this week. They look like deals. Doing that, what I was telling you, as far as doing it every 2 minutes.
Oh, your
So,
secret hack? Yeah, your
yeah,
secret
so
hack.
it's working, which is good. Right now I'm at Tulio itself. I'm gonna run it for the whole month to see how much I'm being charged for the Tulio part, as far as for the calls and the RVMs. But it will work. Again, my response rate is much better, man. And I know, and I thank you for doing the pipeline thing.
Oh yeah.
But again, for some reason or other, I can't follow it the right way. So what I did two smart lists. One that was with my current leads. If as I follow my leads, right? Again, when they reply to me, again, they go in the what's called. They go in the initial conversation pile, right? So they're all in the same conversation pile, and they probably are in the pipeline. But since you tag them as replied and callback, when they call me, anything that replies, it goes either replied, and if it's a reply and a callback, it goes reply callback. So I created a smart list for that. I created where it has the tag of my Podio leads, and it has my reply. That means those are the ones that I texted from my lead count, and they replied to me. And then I have one where it's just completely replies from the one you set up, from the current ones from the new ones that I'm dialing, and everything. So, and I put under lower than a day, less than 24 hours. So it's all the new ones there.
Oh.
So that's way I don't have to go through my conversations. I'll just go through that smart list, because it's crazy going through conversations and try to find the one, because that was my biggest issue, because sometimes I'll be on the phone, and then I get a notification, hey, you got a reply, and then I'll get sidetracked, and if I didn't click the alert, it'll just go, and then by the time I try to open it, I couldn't find it. It'll be just underneath, and I'll get tired.
Yeah, it'll get buried.
Yeah, it'll get buried, basically, yeah. So that's the one that was able to use by you tagging that replied and callback on it. It allows me to create the smart list. Let me see if I can show it to you. So watch this and see. Stop sharing this one. Okay, you see my screen?
Yep.
So you see, I have like here for today, I have 25 replies, because I try to empty them out. What's it called? By the day, because if it goes beyond a day, I already did it for the whole 10 days when I first started doing this smart list. And then once I did the 24, then I just did it for the 7 8 days. Now I did just do it for the 24 hours. So literally, I have probably already, like I'm telling you, I'm answering this calls live. So most of them I can go into the phone and try to get tag them correctly. It's too much hassle, but at least I already know that I already conversated with some of these. So as I go through them, okay, this one's gonna be remove the reply and remove it from the list. But you see, I have this one's as a today's replies, which I have 24, and this is my Podio replies. So I have one Podio reply that I gotta look at. That's one deal that I got. This deal, it's gonna be it's worth probably 165. He wants 125 more than usual, but I'm gonna try to get financing on this one, so I can just buy it for 125 and wrap it at a 169 at 11%. Because I'll probably, if I get everything lined up on that one correctly, I'll probably be paying around 6% interest rate. But once I own and finance it, I'll probably be lending at 12%. So even though it's 7 and 6, not that much difference, but one's going to be at 125 and one's going to be at 169. Well, I'll probably sell it for 189, 179. It's a good value. 159 is a good value if you bring a bank and pays me off. When I do owner finance my deals, I add a premium on it for the risk. So usually it's like $20,000 over. So I'm going to sell it for 189 with 35K down, and then I'm going to owner finance it. So if I sell it for 189 with 35K down, they owe me 155 at 12%, and I owe 125 at 60%. So that's going to be a big difference. So I cash out the 35K, let's say remove the 5K for the closing for my original loan, and then I get cash flow probably like $300 cash flow. I'll calculate it right now. But again, it's a house that it's being paid for, and I still get cash flow, and I got 35K down. So that's the deal for that one. But I like this one. So this is the Podio, and this is the Today Replies. So you see, all of these are, like I'm telling you, I'm answering live. So again, I'm all of these probably I just got to remove the tags and it'll get removed from there. But I appreciate that, man. That made it much easier. And more, again, this one allows me not to miss anything that is replied today. And right now, my only campaign is that one. I have like I'm doing the I'm doing the stack list that I did a long time ago. It's like 2,500 accounts, and I'm doing like around 300 calls a day. Well, 300 RVMs a day. It goes RVM once, and then 3 hours later another RVM, and then a reply, and then a text, like you said. Right after the call, that was good. I did an RVM, and then waited a couple hours, and then an RVM. They didn't answer me, and then 10 minutes later I get a text. Hey, I gotta tell you something. So it's been working for me. Trust me, it's been working pretty good. And I wanted to again thank you for that and show you that it's working again. This one, let me show you the one that I'm gonna get. Let me stop sharing real quick. How was your week, man? Sorry, I kind of took your time as far as I'm excited that this one's working real good for me.
That's good. We closed one of our lease option deals.
Perfect, man.
This a little early because it was supposed to close on August 1st. But we were able to get them in early. The landlord let them come in a little bit early. So we were able to exchange keys and get cashed out.
So it was originally from a landlord already. It wasn't his primary home.
Yeah, so the landlord lives next door, so he has another property. It was easy for him to get everything adjusted, and we found the buyer pretty quickly. We got him maybe I think 30 something days, but there was a previous tenant in there already, so we had to wait for that person to move out, and then we found this person I believe 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, because the place is kind of popular. It's in Saline, Michigan, so it's about 10 minutes away from Ann Arbor. So there's a decent population, and it's like the house is very nice, as in it's like 3 blocks away from downtown. The only issue was it's really small. It's only 1,100 square feet. And the owner was like, okay, well, I think it only fits 2 people, but you can try to bring in 3, but I prefer 2. So the selection he wanted was kind of very smaller selection. So it kind of took a longer time to find the perfect buyer for him. But we showed the house once, and then he loved the person, and then we got it done.
So that one, start from the beginning as far as how you got it.
Yeah, so that one, so this is my partner's deal.
Okay.
So she text blasted the for sale by owner list.
How did you guys scrape it first? Like, first, how did you get to that raw lead?
So we use scraping solution, and basically you download a scrape, and the good part is that you can download the whole for sale by owner by the entire state, and you can scrape the whole entire state. The downside is that it's sort of a manual scrape for the website, so it does take a day or 2 to fully scrape the whole entire website. So you're not getting it if you just like pulled it manually from going to www.zillow.com and then like pull it, like your VA can pull it the same day. So it does take you a day. So this lead was actually pretty fresh. It was about, I think it was about 2 or 3 days old. She text blasted him. He called back and he said, hey, I heard you something about my property, about renting it for a couple months to a couple years. If you didn't, I'm sorry. And he left a voicemail. Usually most people, when you blast, they don't usually leave a voicemail this clear that indicates that they've read your text and they're interested in doing something.
Okay.
So that's actually an indicator that we look for. Anybody that leaves us a voicemail indicating that that they are actually looking to do the rent to own or a lease option, we call them back right away, because we called this person literally 5 minutes after they left the voicemail.
Okay.
And
that they left the voicemail. You're using the already reply numbers, right?
Yep.
Okay.
They left the voicemail and we called them. She called them back and he was
So
interested.
Sorry, because this is good context. So as soon as they left the voicemail, you get an alert, or how do you get notified that it has an email, that you have a voicemail?
Yeah, it leaves you an alert because usually if you connect it, you're connecting to and it's forwarding to your phone, right? And then it'll leave your voicemail in your own voicemail and it says you have a new lead.
Oh wow. So that's all set up inside a reply.
Yep.
Okay, so that one's good. Again, that probably can take a whole nother show by itself, but that's good to know, right? Because again, the only way that I get notification is through my what's it called, my app as a reply. But yeah, that's good to know that you have a new lead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it sent us that, and she replied back to him. So she didn't close him in one phone call. She said, okay, well, let me call, here's the contract. Let me call you tomorrow. Let's see what you think about it. And she called him back the next day.
So it was already what the scrape, sorry, because I want to make sure that the people that are listening to this, the scrape was for properties that were already listed for sale, right?
Yep, for sale by owner.
For sale by owner, okay. So they were listed for sale by owner. What was the price that he had for sale by owner at?
225, I believe.
Okay. So when your partner called him, did you guys negotiate, or do you guys stayed at that price?
No, we just gave him his price.
Okay. So what was the okay? So sorry. I want to make sure that there are people that are hearing this. Okay. So we gave him his price, and let's say 200K, right? What was the reason that he was hesitant as far as, well, let me look at the contract, or what was his hesitation when you guys gave him his price?
I think mostly because most of the times when you call these owners, they don't know what you're doing, right? They don't really understand, oh, okay, are you renting it or are you buying it? So in the message, it is pretty clear that we want to rent it for a short period of time and then buy it.
Let me answer this quick, brother. It's from the
call
that I'm getting. Yeah. Yeah, hello. Sorry. So you see how I answer them in live? Because that, trust me, live gives you the best way to talk to clients as far as to have him make a decision. Sorry, go ahead. So then you guys told him, he was confused if it was a rental, or how would the rental one work, more or less?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just basically just explain it, and then not necessarily explain it so much, but you just kind of tell them like, hey, this is what we want to do, and we would like to make a little bit of money on it, and we won't take any money from you, etc., because we just basically put our fee on top and we find the person for them. So we give them their price and their rent, and then we of course just figure it out for them. So he was a little bit reluctant, but
what would you think? What was the thing he was reluctant about that? Like, what if I was to ask you why you think he was reluctant in going forward right there and then? What would be your main, again, your best guess?
I think the main objection that he had is that when she spoke to him the first time, she didn't kind of communicate properly that the person that they were going to give her, like the tenant buyer, he would have the final say. Because I think a lot of people don't know, like, oh, you're just going to find a random person for me, and what if they wreck my house? What if the person you bring in fucks up my property? What then? So she asked him on the second phone call. So the dude was like, no, actually, I don't want to do it. So she asked him, okay, well, for next time, I know it's over. What could we have done better? Just for our references, what could we have done better to make this easier for you? And so he was like, well, if you actually gave me the decision to go ahead and screen the tenant, have the final say, then I would go ahead and do it. Then she basically said, well, if we did that for you, would you be able to move forward with us? And he said, yes. Yep. Perfect, and then she's like, yeah, I'll give you guys a shot. And then that's just how it is. Like he was not converted because the phone call, I guess, wasn't clear enough. But the second one just said, well, if we cleared that objection for you. So that was the objection.
You don't like, okay, that's great that she asked that. Okay, once it's over, man. What would have done better, which is good. You got back into the play. Now let me ask you this. You guys don't have that as being a what's it called? A procedure to allow the seller to vet the tenant? Because the reason why I'm asking, because I know I heard some like John McCall's. I think I heard Justin and Claude and that other guy, the older guy, saying that, yeah, we'll make sure that we get the right people vetted, and then you get the final say as far as if you approve it or not.
Yeah.
You don't use that as your norm?
We do, but it was my partner's like second week of doing calls.
Okay. Perfect.
So she was a bit shaky.
You don't have because people are hearing this. Could you have had a better opportunity at closing it the first time if we have a script saying, oh, this, especially for like new clients or new partners in your team, saying, okay, make sure you tell them this, especially that, because that's a big red flag. If I was an owner, me not having the final say of who actually I get to rent it for. I'm using you as a third party to find me a tenant, but I want to have some leverage and power. You know what? Okay, you find me the tenant, you do the work, you add 10, 20K above it, but I want to have the final say. You know what? I like this guy or I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
Because I think Justin has a form where when you send the client, I don't know if you fill this out or you know that there's a video back then where he says that you have the owner sign this form, and then the tenant is going to go see the house at first, sign this form where it says that they cannot collude and go around you. Did you guys do that?
Yeah, so that's the form that you it's more of the secondary forms. They don't sign it right away. That's after you have a contract, and then after you go advertise. Once you find them, it's called the appointment setting memo. Yeah,
that's the one that. Did you have the owner sign that?
Yeah, we had them sign it when we found the buyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is good. Again, just going back, reacting to your call. Yeah, it would have, you would have had the first, you would have closed in the first call if you just had a script saying this, and you have the final say. So just, me seeing it from the outside in. Okay, continue. So then you guys found a buyer. So how much did you get it from the buyer from the seller?
We got it at 225, and then I think we sold it for 235.
235. Okay, so it was 10K increase. Now let me ask you this.
I think it was 235 that we got it for, and then we sold it for 245. Yeah.
Okay. Could you, the reason why I'm asking again, because there's a lot of work getting all this stuff, getting it done, and finding a buyer and getting into close, getting into the finish line. It is a lot of work. Could you have increased that 235 and then sell it for 265 instead of 245? You think you could have done that?
I think we could have done that. But the only issue was that that's what we put it up for initially, 265. And we didn't get any bites, but so we put it down to 255. But then we were starting to run out of time, and the amount of people, we got a lot of people that were 3 people. So for example, there was a small family, but the owner, not saying that he didn't like them, but he felt that the place was just right for 2 people. So the selection was smaller, but I think, let's say if we gave it, another 5, 10, 15 days, we could have found a bigger couple that could afford it, because it is a pretty difficult decision, because the rent for that it's pretty, for that area, it's kind of expensive. Like what he was asking for rent was $1,700, and that area rents for maybe $1,400-1,500.
Okay.
And we ran into a very big issue, actually. So we're glad that this one worked out, because he's initially said that it was $1,700 including utilities. So if it's $1,500 without utilities, it's kind of fair, because utilities might be $200, $300, $400.
Yeah.
But then when we got everything signed and we found the buyer again, he actually said, no, it's not included utilities. I made a mistake. And so if we had to cancel the contract and go do it over again, we would have been fucked in the ass because no one would have wanted that property for 1,700
plus utilities.
Plus utilities.
Let me ask you this. How much did the buyer bring into down payment?
He brought $10,000.
So that's all that he brought in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the reason why I'm asking you this, again, just breaking down your transaction, again, I would at least want it to get 20.
Yeah.
For other let work. That again, yes, it's good to prove the concept, but then again, if I get a buyer at 245, that's my max, and I have a seller at 235, and they're only bringing 10K in, that's it. What? Just going when you go back to your once week in the call and everything, go back to your day in day out stuff. How can you have asked for an additional 10K built into his current sales price, so that you can increase your maybe 10K right now plus 10K in the long term? The reason why I'm asking this, because again, we do like real estate. People think, oh, they just land from the lap, they go into your lap, and then but it's not. So again, don't cheapen your value as far as what it takes to get someone to say yes on the buyer side and want somebody to say yes on the seller side. So and that kind of opens up your mentality to, oh, my minimum is going to be 20. So that means you either negotiate this way with the buyer or you negotiate this way with the seller. And if it's only 10K cash, then how do I build in a secondary lien on the property? Maybe not right now, but maybe when it sells. You don't necessarily perfect. You know what? I'm selling it for 255 with this seller. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the 255 in, he doesn't have the 20K down payment. He does have 10. What are we gonna do here? We're not gonna touch your 235. It's gonna be sold for 245 with the 10K down payment. So he owes me 10K extra. He owes you the 235, but this is gonna be on a lien note on the back end. Once he buys the house, when he actually exercises his option, he's gonna pay you 235 and he's gonna pay me the 10K for me.
So that's a lien. So we just basically do a lien. So
yeah, I would do a lien.
Okay.
Yeah, I would do a lien. A 10K lien. Just make sure that because the lien has to be approved. You have to have a contract first of all with the three parties. You know what? I sold you to the property at 255. You only brought 10, so you still owe me 245. That means that he owes you a 10K lien. Boom. Seller agrees. The buyer agrees, signs it. And then you have something like I can work the contract, talk to the attorney. And then from the seller side, I owe you 235. I brought you a buyer. The buyer still owes me 10K. He doesn't have the 10K, but we're gonna do this paperwork and it's gonna record a lien that once if he executes the option and then he owes me the 10K. Again, that allows the seller to be okay with it. If he executes it. If he doesn't, that lien gets removed. If he doesn't, then he owes me the 10K. Again, that's going to be a big concern. Well, what if he doesn't compute? You have to you 10K. No, it's only if. And again, you have an attorney draft that out so that it looks good on paper. So again, because you don't, again, perfect. You only got 10K down, perfect. But I want 20. How do I put 20 into this deal? And remember, lien notes in 3 years, you already know in 2027, you have 10K coming in for this deal. And if you got 10 deals like that, you got 100K just coming in lien deals. You know what I mean? Because again, going back, you don't want to cheapen your value. Because
can you theoretically do that for any assignment that you do? Like if
most likely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually with the assignment, the way it works, when it's an assignment you're talking to an assignment to an investor, right?
Right.
Yeah. You know what, investor? I know I want to sell it for. I know you want this property. I want 35K. Again, the reason for me, I don't bring assignments into the realm until we close. So I tell them, you know what, you're gonna buy it for 100K. Whatever that 100K minus the contract price, it's my assignment, right? And he says, you know what, I only have 90. Perfect. We'll do a 10K assignment, taking a lien on the new property. You can get paid in two ways. Once you flip it, pay me 10K. If you rent it, you pay me on a monthly basis. Depends on how you want to structure it.
Okay.
Again, because the reason why is the higher the value that you see yourself, they're going to take you serious. Okay, you know, perfect. You have 10K, let's do 10K. And and let's do this. So just going back with you again, how many people were involved in this transaction? On your side.
Between or like how many people were in the team, or how many people were in the buyer, seller, and.
So not your employees, but like, was it a JV? Was it your deal?
Oh yeah, it was our deal, but we JV'd with Justin's disposition manager.
So it was two persons. It was basically two companies, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it was a split or whatever it was. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
But then again, you want to make it more valuable,
right,
to them. You know what I mean? And to yourself. But continue. So then, you just a word of advice. That's what I would have done. So you got the buyer. He saw two tenants, right? The first tenant he didn't like it because he thought the house was better for two people. The second tenant that
he only saw one person.
Okay.
There was one showing, yeah.
So you said he had said no to somebody, or you told him, hey, I got a family of three.
Yeah, we had a lot of potential family of threes, or just couples that had really bad credit, and like, he can't be discriminatory and say I don't like that, but he was like, I prefer two that actually have, good credit. It's a perfect place for them. And he's an old guy. He's kind of picky a little bit.
So you check the credit to these tenants?
Not the potential credit, but this tenant, yes, the one that brought 10K.
Okay, and how do you guys made him like, okay? So that's new for me. How do you guys check the credit, as far as you check that as a business, or you ask them to go Credit Karma, put the credit, or how do you guys do that?
Yeah, I think what they did was they use My Smart Move or something that checks their credit. So
but
they pulled
the tenant himself checked his own credit and gave you a copy.
No, I think we.
Or you guys checked that as a business?
Yeah, and they paid.
How
for
much
the
did that cost you?
Fee. I think they pay for it. Well, it says in Justin's little thing that it's about like I think $35 or something like that for them to $35 or $45 for them to run it through My Smart Move, and they check all their like background check, the credit check, and but we're mainly checking for if the income is 3 times or 4 times the monthly rent, then that's good. And if they have a down payment that is juicy enough.
No, but it's good to know, as far as if I was a seller. Oh, you guys check the credit.
Yeah, because that's what the seller wanted to know, basically the income. That's the only thing he cared about. He didn't really care about the background credit or whatever. Yeah. He just cared about the income. It's like, is this person able to pay me monthly? And is this person, has a good job, stable job? And she was a nurse. So this Smart Move, what does it check for? It checks for credit, of course, credit cards and everything, all your credit points. Background check. What does it check under like, what does it check under the background check? Like for previous rentals that she's had. Do you have a copy of this so our audience can see this? I do have the copy, but
it's probably it has probably client. But just break me down again the tabs. Okay, credit cards, mortgages, auto loans. Like, I want to know the reason why I'm telling you this. And you say you also charge for an application fee, right? Yeah, it's like $45 because that's the application fee. They just run through all the stuff. Okay, perfect. And I'm looking at the website here. It says it's a criminal report, eviction report, income insight, credit report. And they'll basically give you a number, like a what's it called? My Smart Move? Yeah, mysmartmove.com. Let me put it up on my side. It's good. That's good. I like that. Like in my area, I only care. How do you check it because you're doing the owner financing, right? I don't check credit. Oh my goodness. So again, I guess the down payment is the. I used to be a lender, right? I used to be a lender. Again, I probably saw, not to be kidding with you, I was there 8 years. I probably saw close to probably close to 800,000 credit bureaus, more or less. Because we were closing, that's too much. We were making $1 million a year in loans. So let's say I saw 100,000 credit bureaus, right? 100,000 clients, probably more, because I'm pretty sure it's more than that. So when you see a credit bureau, you put the credit bureau as one, you ask for their bank statements, that's 2, and then you ask for their income history, as far as the pay stubs, right? So after years, again, it's like learning a bike. You get to learn tricks and how to basically you get smart with the system, right? And you know that in the back end of the lending is collecting part, right? So I kind of, after years of that, I saw the correlation was that the seller might have shitty credit because we were subprime lenders. So our credit score started at 450. Our lowest loan that we did was with a client that had a 450. And usually our top tier on average was probably like 620. We did get some good clients that were like at 710, 720, 730. And the reason they didn't go to the bank is because the bank was taking too long. They were asking for too much stuff. You see my puppy in the back. Look at this guy. Look at this guy right here. So then
he's advertising.
He's advertising
a mascot.
It's crazy guy. So I saw that. So I saw a client that might have shitty credit, but if you have savings of over, I think over 15K in savings, their default rate was close to zero.
Interesting.
On the reverse, I had clients that had, well, okay, average credit. They were literally like living day to day. $1,000 goes into a checking account, $900 goes away within a week. And they have good income. Their default rates, the collection costs that we were making was much, much higher than the one that actually had savings. And the reason why is this: if you understand saving, lower income people to save 20K, that means they probably have to save $100, $200 a month for like 10, 20 years. That's a lot of discipline. So then they see that income as their nest egg. Like they see that income, their savings as their baby. So when they give it to me, now they see their house as the baby. So I know there's discipline that they're gonna make sure that if they had this baby for 20 years in savings, they're not gonna let it go. They're gonna try to find a way to make my payment. So that's the correlation that I found. And trust me, I've done it with other investors here in the Valley, where I'm from, where they have, 3 to 5K down. And their default rates are, it's like crazy. He's like, how come you get your properties and you don't get default? Thank God, right? It's like, well, it's just that I know for a fact that somebody that, again, it's not 100%, but somebody that has 20, 30K, that has a medium income, that's not like doesn't make 300,000 a year, that makes 30, 40K a year. That means this guy saved this money for 15, 20 years. So when they give it to me, they're giving me the whole life savings, not their 3-year savings, whole life savings. So thank God, that's why I don't have any issues with default. Thank God so far. Then that's how I just make sure that you have a license, either SSN or ITIN. And then I use a local title company. The buyer pays the 1K for the paperwork. That's it. And I don't get defaults.
What's your minimum down payment? I think it's like
25.
25.
Depends on the property. Depends on the property. So let's say like this one that I offered here. That one I bought it for. I actually closed on that one for 23. About 23, right? I'm selling it for 89. It's probably worth, if I was to fix it, it would probably be worth 149. Right? I'm selling it for 89K. I just talked to a realtor because I want a realtor to get do with it. I'm selling it for 89K, even though it's worth 149, because it's not fixed up. The reason why I'm selling it as this, 80% of the people where I'm from are pretty good with their hands. They know how to fix floors, they know how to fix walls, they know how to fix roofs. So you know what? I'm giving you the savings of me putting an extra 20K into the property and selling it to you at 139, 149. I'll give it to you as is, where it is, because I know that you can probably on the weekends you probably fix the floors, another weekend you fix the walls, another weekend you fix the roof, and then you keep those savings, right? 1, 2, 89K, 35K down, 15-year or 30-year financing. Because with the, once again, let's say I'm paying the realtor, I'll probably pay the realtor 5K. Even though I'm telling you, I'm giving you 5K net, because usually if it's 6% of 89, it's not even close to 5. But I'm guaranteeing you 5K, right? So if I do sell it for 89, I mean, remember, the only discount, the only way that I don't lower the down payment. I just decrease the purchase price in case they say anything. Oh, that has this, the house has this. I'll give you a 2K discount. because I don't want to put any money into the property. So let's say I do sell it for 89K. Let's say I sell it for 85 per se. All right. I get 35K down. My down payment is not flexible. It's 35K down. So then I pay the guy 30. I pay the guy 5, the realtor. I keep 30, right? I bought it for 23. So I'm making 8K on it, right? It was like 20. It was 20 plus 3K in taxes and everything. So then I make 7K cash. So I'm already the house is already paid for. I already have 10K in my pocket, right? Now I'm owner financing the rest for the whole term. So I'm financing it, the 50K that I have pending. Let's say it's probably like 55K that I have pending for 30 years. That's gonna give you around 594. The thing was gonna be the mortgage payment, the mortgage by itself, the mortgage and taxes, the mortgage and interest, right? But remember, I'm already plus on everything. So literally all that cash was mine, basically. So then he's paying me 590. He's paying taxes and insurance. Let's say I'm gonna add it into the escrow. The taxes are $200 and the insurance an extra 150. So he's paying, let's say he's paying $900 all in, right? If you multiply 594 times 360 months, which is 30 years, I'm making $213,000 in the next 30 years. So I'm making almost $600 a month cash flow. So I made 10K in the front end once I sold it as is, whereas I'm only 23 out. So I make 10K and then I make 213 on the back end. Remember, the reason why it's a little bit more, fees. It's 5% late fee. Most likely, most clients will miss on a 30-year term, they might miss a year worth of payments. Like that month here, a month here. By the time you know it, that adds up. But again, I got the property at a really low price. I'm allowing you to rent, like buy your property instead of renting. Again, I know the rents in my area for that house is probably like around $1,500. Once it's fixed up, I'm giving you a house for $900 a month, bro. It's a win-win. It's a win-win for everybody. It's a humongous. Let me see if I have it here. Oh, my brother.
Quick question: Are you
Go ahead,
are you paying the dog anything to advertise? Because he's working really hard.
I know, right? He's working real hard. Hey, wake up, bro! You were going to sleep. He's going to sleep already.
Everyone has to earn their keep around you, man. They don't.
Yeah,
they
definitely,
can't
man.
rest.
No, sir. So this is a lot. You can see it.
Mm-hmm. This is the 89K house.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a house. So again, it's a nice house. It's 1,200 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. It's wood. It has a lot of land. It has your house. And the good thing, the house is closer to the front of the house. So the back of the house, let me answer this call real quick. Yeah, hello. Hello. Yeah, it's got a missed call from this number. Oh, you got a text? Okay, let me see. Quick. Do you have that property? I don't know if that property is yours. On Bagwell, 914. Okay, perfect. So my boss, Robert Trevino, he mailed you guys an offer package. Did you guys get a chance to open it and see if you guys are interested in hearing an offer for that property, or you didn't get the package at all? Let me check real quick. Today's the 29th. It was sent on July 15th. It's a green envelope, and it's like bulky. It's not a flat. It was basically my partner, my wife's and my boss. He bought a house by Ferguson. You know where Ferguson and what's it called, Jackson's at? Okay, so he bought a house in that area. So basically what he just does marketing. He hires our company to do marketing in the surrounding areas to see if there's anybody else that's willing to hear an offer. He's trying to put his money, just got retired, so he wants to put his money into houses so he can reduce his taxes. Okay. Okay, and if not, again, if you don't see anything, I'll text you the offer that he had it for you. All right, brother, be safe. Hey, Vic.
Are you still dripping it out right now as
Yes.
the okay? Makes sense.
So I'm getting calls like that. So again,
That
that guy,
got 2 calls. That's great.
yeah. So because it works, trust me, that was a hack. That's a hack that you put in my mind, dude, and it works. And it works because people, again, I can answer 30, 40 calls a day.
Yeah.
Good. And I know if I blast them, I'll get 30 calls within 3 minutes, and that's not good because I can't answer those. So, and you see this one, I already went to my today replies, and the boys. So in case, I'm gonna text them the offer probably once we get off of this.
Yeah.
So then, sorry. So that's how you were asking me about that deal. Yeah. So most of these properties, that's the way I do them. You saw the property; it's good. It's fair enough. It's probably worth like 139, but I don't want to fix it because I don't want to take away from the owner's capability to fix their own house. Because I can charge you, I can put 20, 30K on that one, but for those 20, 30K that I'm doing in work, I'm charging you 60. It's not worth it for you, especially if you know how to do it. So then, perfect. Let's go continue with your call. So then he went to go see. So only one person went to go see it, right? The owner met the tenants there. Once you said, I'm gonna send you the tenant to go look at the house, he signed the how'd you explain the form, the appointment form?
We just said we called him because my partner has a really good rapport with him, and he said, okay, so we found a person that matches your criteria, and so what time would you like to go ahead and schedule the appointment, because he's showing the house as well. And he already gave us the times beforehand, any day between, let's say, 4 to 7 p.m. for Michigan time. And so we just confirmed it, and he said, okay, 7 p.m. on Sunday.
Oh shit, Sunday.
Yeah, it was on a Sunday too. So we basically emailed him on Saturday, and then he said, yeah, let's go on Sunday. So they went on Sunday. They loved it. And then it was either Sunday or Saturday. They loved it. The next day, we called him in the morning. How did he feel? He's like, yeah, I loved it. She was perfect for the place. And then he checked the credit and everything. And he's like, okay, cool. So then we said, go ahead and, sign. And he signed it. And then we were waiting for the buyer's signature. And then the buyer was like, well, I discussed it with him, and there was a bunch of other problems that we had to resolve. So we resolved all those problems, both sides, because the utility problem, what we were talking about before, he thought that he said one thing, but he didn't, because he's an old guy. He's like in his 70s. So we resolved that issue. We got both sides cleared up. And then we got that signed within 24 hours. And then we had some issues with the wiring. And then we solved that within 24 hours. But then that was about 48 hours to 72 hours of getting it all cleared up. So
what do you mean wiring? The wiring of the money or the wiring of the house?
Oh, the wiring of the money. Yeah.
Okay,
so
perfect.
There's just issues with wiring with money. But it wasn't their issue. It was our issue.
So was this done through a title company, or how was this done?
So it was just the tenant buyer wires it directly towards us for our option fee, and wires the security deposit for them. So it's $2,500 security deposit and then our fee, and then that is basically all taken care of. So then because these options,
and mind you guys are not local to this market, right? You're not living there.
No, it's completely out of state. We've never seen anyone. We've never seen anyone. The buyer, the seller showed it. So the seller did all the seller was our realtor. Yeah, basically our realtor. Yeah. And you can do this in any market. You can do this in
how many months had he had the house listed for sale?
2 days.
Oh wow, he just wow.
He had the thing rented, so he had a renter in there already when we contacted him. So we contacted him, I believe, June 16th, and the renter was still in there until July 1st. So he said, yeah, the renter's going to be in there. So Christina said, well, we can write a contract up now, and then when and rental. Execute it after the rental agreement expires. But so we did that. So he moved out July 1st, July 2nd, July 4th. We marketed it and we didn't get a lot of traction because people didn't want to go out and see it during July 4th. And he had a very narrow criteria. So we found a buyer about a month after we got it under contract. So July 17th, July.
Was that
18th.
buyer, how did you guys acquire? Did you guys promote it? And what sources of media did you guys promote it on?
We use a very expensive site. We call it Facebook Marketplace.
Okay. How was your again, your what's it called? Your copyright?
So we took a lot of Justin's stuff. So rent before buy was in the title. And then the I believe the dimensions, so it was a 2-1, and then the address.
Okay.
So
actually
Justin
you put the whole address. Okay.
Yep. Just what Justin suggested. So my copy was a little bit different than Alex, the dispositions manager. But that's the one that they clicked on. They clicked on my ad, and then in the body of the copy was basically the general dimensions of the house, like the square footage, 1,100 square foot, and then it had a fenced backyard, it had a carport, all those things, and then it said amenities included, and then it says, you must go and drive by the property to make sure you like it, and then after that, then you're going to go through a text interview and then a phone interview. And then you'll get a credit check afterwards. And the credit application is $45, and you must have a reasonable down payment. And in the last line is, the last 2 lines is my name and phone number. Please leave your name and phone number. And this property is under contract, which is assignable. So just for, we had to advertise that we don't actually own the property. It is a contract for sale. So that's the basic format. And the pictures aren't that great either, because I think he took the pictures. No, he took them. We just pulled them off the Zillow ad, and they're pretty shabby. They're not professional realtor photos or anything. Mm-hmm. It's this dude has a 2007 iPhone and is just took pictures. It looks like one of those Polaroid pictures and stuff that. It's
how'd you guys sign the original agreement with the seller? Sorry.
So we use, you've seen Justin's 1-page contract, right? Mm-hmm. So actually, that's a good question. That was one of his other concerns, is that he didn't like the 1-page contract because it didn't really explain too much of what the actual lease does. Because Justin's only has 3 or 4 lines about the actual lease thing. So he wanted to make sure that it was, to have which amenities or which things were going to be included, how long the rental lease was going to be for, not only the rental lease, but all the protections. So we said, you know what, why don't we just use whatever rental agreement that you feel comfortable with, we'll put it on top, and then we'll sign them together.
Okay. What did he say?
So he said, okay. And that's what he wanted. So he sent us the realtor agreement for the rental leasing for Michigan. So he just sent that, and then we just signed. We didn't sign that one. We just said, okay, we'll sign that later when we find the tenant buyer.
So he did DocuSign, or he did physical mail?
He just no. He emailed it to us.
Okay.
And then I actually edited that draft and sent it back to him, and I put it in the Doc Hub or DocuSign, basically our edited agreements. But he just sent back the original one, and he said, and he filled it out. So he didn't like the fact that we edited the Michigan State copy. So he just sent it back, and he just did this. So I just said, okay, fine. Let's just sign the base document and include in the base document, see attached lease.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah. So we can just get that one signed, and then when we find the tenant buyer, they can just both sign that one, and we can assign it to them. So that's how it worked out. And he said, okay. So he just signed that one. And that was literally, that took about, from the first contact to when he signed, took about 28 hours. And this guy only checks email once a day. So for him to sign it within 28 hours is amazing.
Well, it's good, man. Again, usually most people, again, especially the older people, it's hard for them. So you need to be able to maneuver. Either I would have mailed them just an overnight them, but nowadays with the technology, even in an email, just you fill it out, take a picture, and you send it to me. That's a valid copy. So let me ask you this. Okay, he signed it. So then the tenants, I just want to make sure we finalize the transaction. So then the tenants went in there. The tenants met the seller. Perfect. They shook hands. He liked them. They liked the house. Then after the walkthrough, you call the tenants. Hey, did you like the house? Or who'd you call first?
So after that, they texted and they're like, okay, I like it. So that he texted she texted the buyer, texted the disposition, which was just on Justin's team, and then we called the seller the next morning because he only answers his email one time in the morning. So we emailed him, see what he liked, and he said yes, it was great. So then we needed to get the paperwork squared away. She signed the paperwork, he signed the paperwork, and then the wiring was done the next day.
Okay. So then once he agreed, you called the tenant. Hey, tenant, you got approved.
Yeah. So after they saw each other, we had to collect her information, right? So the credit check and all that stuff, which is done really quickly.
Okay. So you did the credit check after they saw the house and they actually you did the walkthrough and they liked it both. Okay.
Yep.
So then you did the credit check. They liked it. Everything is done. So then now it's the contract. Now you're gonna have a contract with the buyer, right?
Yeah. So
that one's eDoc.
Yeah. So we use I use DocHub, but I think Alex and Justin use DocuSign.
Okay.
So they got that over to her. We had to make sure that they're all on the same page, and that's when we figured out that the seller was like, "Oops, utilities are not included." It was like, yeah.
So
and she was.
So then, how did that go with the buyer?
So I mean, the buyer, because we actually didn't catch it. So this is more a logistical issue, but if they both like each other, the main point is the motivation's there, right?
Yeah.
So they'll negotiate. So the logistical issue that we had to fix was she saw the contract because he had sent over a new lease agreement once we found the tenant buyer, different from the one that he already filled out in the beginning. And so
because now you're putting A and B together, A and C together.
No, it's because he forgot that he sent, because he's old, a first one. So in the first one, he listed out everything and he gave it to us. So we had a copy of it. And then once we found this person and then she saw this person, he went out and he filled out everything, like her name and stuff like that. And he went ahead and presented us a new one. And we're like, oh, okay, just get it signed and I'll figure out the rest. So I thought that he had the same, he basically copy and paste, but it was a different document.
It was a whole
document. It was a completely different document and the information was also different. But I didn't read it because, we were just getting everything, squared away. So I said, okay, great. Go ahead and sign that one so we can get this all finished within a couple hours. So we send that copy over to the tenant buyer and the tenant buyer says, hey, it says that the utilities are not included, but in your ad, it says the utilities are included. What's up? And in the original document he sent and on the phone, he said that utilities were included. But in the second one that he sent us, while everything was closed and squared away, or supposed to be closed and squared away, he changed it. So we were like, oh, fuck. So we had to call the seller and be like, hey, do you remember the original one that you sent? Are you okay with that? Which one do you want to use? The first one or the second one? He's like, I want to use the second one. It's like, great, cool. So the buyer really loves it. I know you said that in the email, you're very flexible. So whatever in the lease you're very flexible with, right? Cool. So now we get that he was flexible in the agreement. Okay. And you really like this tenant buyer. She's a perfect fit for you. Great. We only have one issue with this, sir, that she saw in your original lease, the utilities. And he was like, oh no, I can't cover that because the utilities were a couple $100. And he was like, okay, well, what would you like to do? How would you like to fix this issue? Right. Let me go and talk to the tenant buyer. Let's see where she's at. Let me see if she's negotiable at all. And we pretend, right? So we hang up and then we call him back 30 minutes later. It's like, okay, so the tenant buyer wasn't able to move on this. What do you think? what should we do? How can we fix this problem? I know you want to move forward with this today. How can we work this out and get this all settled done? He's like, well, it is my fault. So let me increase the rent from 1,700 to 1,800. I cover the utilities for the first year. And then the second or third year, she covers it. The rent goes back down to 1,700. So we took that and we wanted to use that as a negotiation point, right? Because I still think he's flexible if she said no. So we go back to her and she accepted it right away. So she really wants the property. So she's like, okay, well, instead of doing a 3-year lease, let's do a 2-year lease. So in case I can't afford it in, 1 year by myself, the utilities, I can just buy it or cancel it in the 3rd year. So we said, okay, cool, you'll do that. And then we went back to the buyer, said, okay, she's agreeing with it. She only wants to do it for 2 years. Are you okay with that? He's like, yeah, I also wanted 2 years as well. So it's like, oh, perfect. Great. Let's get this done. So then
the lease was done for 3 years, right?
Yeah, it was originally 3 years and then we reduced it down to 2 years.
Okay, 24 months.
And the lease originally said that utilities were included, but then it wasn't included. But then we fixed it to make it utilities included the 1st year and then the 2nd year. And so we just basically just wrote it in the amendment. We just had another a form that we just said, the new dates are this. So 3 years instead of 2 years, because the lease had stated 3 years. Now it says 2 years. Begins on this date, begins on that date. And then utilities are included for the 1st year only, because it said first 3 years. Mm-hmm. Now it only says 1 year. And then the 2nd year, the rent drops back down to 1,700 and the tenant buyer pays for the utilities.
Okay, perfect. Like that was a way, that would have been a way in to get an extra 5K. Like if you look at it like that, by telling, you know what, okay, the seller wanted to be at $1,700 with no utilities. The buyer wanted to be at 17 with utilities. You agreed to $1,000, $1,800 with the utilities for 1 year, and I was able to negotiate with the buyer tenant to do that. But I need a discount because I'm gonna be paying the seller. I'm gonna be giving the buyer a discount of $5,000 for the 24 months, 36 months. So say if you're doing 24 months at $200 of utilities, that's $4,800.
Yeah.
So now I need a discount from you, Mr. Seller. I'm not messing with your cash flow as far as your rental. I'm just asking to recoup me only if he buys the property after 24 months.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he would have said okay, and you would have gotten a 5K note.
Yeah.
At the end of 24 months. Again, just whatever. Again, food for thought on the next deal. That's the way. Because remember,
very good. Yeah.
If you go in there knowing that I want 20, find a way. Like once you it's been studied that once you tell your brain no, you no longer look for any opportunities. Once you say you ask your brain how, everything becomes an opportunity. So perfect. So then they agreed. They signed the contract with the buyer, the new lease, right? And then you requested the buyer to send you the wire, the 10K to you, and the 12 and the 2K to him, right? 2,500 to him.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, how fast was that? So you said he signed on Sunday, right? The tenant signed on Sunday.
Yeah. So they signed the next day, which was on Monday, and then the wire was on Tuesday. So this whole transaction took around like 48 to 72 hours, and then there was an issue with the wiring and then we fixed that one. So that was basically fixed the next day.
The issue with the wiring was the transaction number, or what was the issue?
It was just the wrong bank account name.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it's not a big issue. It's more logistical parts on our end.
When was the moving date?
The moving date was actually the 1st of August.
So it's gonna be the 1st of August. Okay.
Yeah. So the reason why he's a nice guy, so he let her go in a couple days because we found the tenant before and it was already vacant because he had the whole thing vacant for the month.
So he lost money.
Yeah, he was losing money, but the property's free and clear, so he's not like and he didn't, I don't think he fixed up the place because he had a previous renter, and then he just like basically said, hey, go move in, right? Just he had the immediate tenant because we found him the immediate tenant. So like if he cleaned it up or anything like that, then he probably would have lost money to, of course, clean up the carpet or do something like that. But he only lost like 20 something days of rent, and the other person moved in right away. Like she looked at it, she loved it because the location it's great. It's 3 blocks from downtown.
Okay. And it might benefit them as far as at the back end. Again, she might get a big deal once they appreciates, and he's gonna get his price. So, but it's good, man. Congratulations on that deal, man. Again, this is what we like to break down is the whole transaction. How'd you get the lead? How was the first contact? What was the hiccups and everything to get your final check, right? To get at the day when you get your check, which is good and it's smart. A couple of improvements as far as that I would have done to get more money.
Yeah.
Again, 5K note. I would even ask a tenant fee from the down payment from the from the deposit. I would have asked for 1,000 instead of 2,500 bucks to it. Just get 1,000 from the seller. From the seller, it's not 25 to you. It's gonna be, let's say with 2,000, charge a 30% tenant fee. I can make it sound like it's a business. Oh yeah, this is gonna be the breakdown, and then the deposits we charge a 30% tenant fee. You go, okay, so you would have got an extra 800 bucks. Like for me, that's a whole month worth of marketing.
Yeah, that's
so again,
because there's like little tricks here that you can get a little bit more.
Little avenues of income. Yeah, little avenues of income with the same deal. Again, that's why you diversify within the same deal. You got a note, you got a down payment, you get the tenant fee. Again, I would have charged 100 bucks for the application. If it's 39, I would 100 bucks. You get 60 bucks there, or pays for the whole membership.
Is that how much you charge for yours?
I don't do it. I don't do it. Like I'm telling you, I don't do anything. I don't do a background check. I don't do anything. Thank God I haven't had an issue because of my background with lending. But yeah, again, like I say, I only ask for the down payment. Based on my history being a lender, I know if somebody has income that's saved for usually if the average income here in our area is around 30, 40K, 50K as a family, as a family income, saving 20, 30K is a lifetime. So once they give it to me, like they're gonna value what this money got them, the house. So they're not gonna default on the payments, which is good because again, it allows me to get a good people in my house without having to run a credit check. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, congratulations on that deal. Now, let me ask you something. From when you first send the text blast to when you actually close, how long was that?
It was about 6 weeks. Because he already had a tenant in there, so we had to wait 2 weeks. Actually 2.5 weeks because they officially moved out like July 4th. But and then we had some interested people, but I tried to do the disposition myself, but I wasn't good at it. So then I had to ask for Justin to step in and do, because they already have the system figured out, and for me just to watch how it's done for the first time.
Yep.
So I think if I just handed it to them earlier, then it would have been done way quicker, way faster. But now that we've gone through the ropes, it's like, okay, next time it'll be way more smooth. It should only take like 2 weeks to do the whole thing.
Yeah, perfect, man. Again, yeah. Once you prove the concept that it works, how many is that your how many months have you been doing? Like, how long have you been in the business so far? I didn't even ask you when I first met you.
I think we're on week 8 or week 9, so 2 or 3 months. Yeah.
That you started knowing how to do what's called
how to do the stuff. Yeah. But to be fair, I think I have a lot of experience with doing marketing already. So like things like REI reply is very familiar. And then that we did wholesaling before. So the skip tracing and all that like data stuff, we're familiar with that. We just weren't familiar with like creative financing and lease options and stuff like that. So we knew real estate before, but we didn't know like creative real estate.
Yeah, lease options, else. Like owner finance.
Yeah, yeah. So we had the foundation, but now we're learning the other stuff. And but yeah, to prove the concept, I mean, the first time doing the first time is kind of like you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah,
and
you always fall a little bit once you're doing the first deal, but then eventually you learn and you improve. I don't do lease options. I need to get on lease options because I don't do them. There's a lot of pretty houses in our area that I look at that I can do that. I just need to improve on my pitch for doing the lease options. My deal is more owner financing. because I want to stay in the middle. So either like I was telling my guys, properties are dirt cheap, literally dirt cheap. I'll buy them myself, and I'll become the owner finance guy. Because if I buy it for 20, I sell it for 89 with 35K down, I net 15K. It's like an assignment fee. I mean, instead of netting 40K in an assignment fee, I can do 15K right now, which is good. And then I just I basically cash flow. I don't know, I put 293 on the cash flow. I cash flow 213 for the rest of the contract for 30 years. So remember, if I get 6 of those a year, 7 of those a year, I try to do 10 owner finance deals. $600 times 10, that's $6,000 a month. Again, for the rest of my, literally for my, I'm gonna be 40,
right,
70. I'm gonna be, by the time I know it's gonna be 70, I'm still getting cash from that deal. So again, and the paperwork is the same. You do once I like this one that I actually locked it in and closed on it. It's gonna be a wrap. What's it called? It's gonna be an owner finance deal, contract for deed. It doesn't get recorded. It's being held at escrow. If you want to pay me sooner, I don't have prepayment penalties. If you pay me sooner, perfect. You cash me out much faster. If not, it goes to the rest of the contract.
So you closed it with a title company, right? So
I bought it from the seller, from the title company.
Right.
And this is the SEO deal that I was telling you guys that
right.
That guy called me, and I got another one like that. I got 2 calls like that, where the guy called me thinking I was a law firm, and then I bought it from him for 20K. So again, SEO works, especially even this one wasn't my even SEO. I got 2 calls. One call I got this morning, literally that called me at fucking 6:57. The other lady called me yesterday. They had it's a daughter. Parents are paying on the mortgage. She wants to do an assumption loan, so she calls the law firm to try to get the way it works. And I thought, well, I'm not a law firm, but I know how that works. I used to be a lender. Now remember, in mortgages after I think after the 90s, they're no longer assumptive loans. You can't assume them. The only way you can assume them is you call the lender and they have to run your credit.
Oh.
Like they have to do everything like it was a brand new client, because they loaned it to the person, not to you. So there's no assumption loans. And then I told her there's not gonna be an assumption loan. You don't need an attorney, because if they're gonna do that work as far as doing all the credit checking and the income checking, once they approve you, they're gonna do everything. They're gonna do the paperwork. They're gonna do the closing. Again, so have them pay. Save the $1,000 that the attorney is gonna charge you for the advice, and just go through. If you're gonna do that, go through the lender, and they'll let you know what hoops you gotta go through and everything. So that's one. That was the one that. So guess what I do on that one? I put him in my Podio, in my reply, and then I text him 3 months later. Hey, how did that assumption go? Why? Because it's a house of her parents. They're elderly parents, based on what she was telling me. They're elderly parents. She wants to take care of the payments. So eventually, time happens. They'll pass away, and she'll have 2 properties. And here I am that I helped her for free. So that's one. The second one that called me this morning, it was the father gave him a quick claim deed to the property, and now the other brother is being a jerk. Hey, what happened? What the fuck? So I was telling him, well, if you want to keep it in the family, the quick claim deed in Texas works. That gave it to you as a quick claim. Now it's yours forever if you keep it in the family. He can the other brother can say, hey, no, but it's this property was his. He wasn't married. That's his property, because he got the property after he got divorced. That's his property. He can quick claim it to you, and you can keep it in the family, and it's yours. The brother has no right to go against you. The only way he can say is that you coerced your dad to tell you this, to give you this property, right?
Can you explain the quick claim deed a little bit more? Because I think a lot of people don't like the quick claim deed.
No,
right?
Well, in Texas, if you want to sell it, you want to get rid of it outside the family, the quick claim deeds don't work. They work, but they cannot get insured by the title company. So basically, you have to go back to the father and ask him to give you a warranty deed, so that he can sell it outside the family. So again, and I told him, if you want to keep it in the family, you don't have to do anything. Just keep it as is. And then the brother can say and cry and everything. There's nothing. The only way you can reverse this is by you writing a quick claim deed back to your father. Like this once it's recorded in county, it's not reversible. The way you reverse it is by creating a whole new quick claim deed, because now you're quick claiming it back yourself to the father. So again, what is that? That's another deal. Because eventually the friction within the family is going to be so much. You know what? Hey, thank you for helping me out. Hey, you know what? I know it's a lot of friction. I deal with a lot of clients like this where there's family issues. Again, we definitely do buy properties like this. Remember, I'm giving you value first. I'm saving you what the $300 that the attorney was going to charge you. I'm pretty sure the attorney was going to tell him, yeah, you have to do a warranty deed. $300 or $400 for the paperwork. But what I'm doing, I'm giving you the advice for free, and eventually they're going to have friction. Hey, and I'm gonna call him. Hey, what happened? I hope you're safe, man. How's your brother doing, man, with that property for your dad? I'm like, oh, you see, it's a warm lead now, and I'll keep it there. I'll keep it there for the rest of life. Again, and that's why you always keep, like, all these properties that people are telling me not interested. They're in the zones that I like. So if they're cordial and everything, I put them on a 6-month follow-up through outright reply. All right, and if they're not cordial, I put them on a yearly follow-up. Say fuck off in a year. Let them forget that they spoke to me and send them a text. Things change from one day to the other. Oh, another hack that I did. You know ROI reply. Let me see if I can show it to you.
What's that REI reply? Is that some kind of texting software?
This is new hack that I got out. What's it called? Let me see. So you know how, I'm not showing it to you because you can't see it. You know how there's a contact source area on ROI reply, right?
Right.
Well, and there's also a note area on ROI reply. Now, if I want to text myself the notes of what's the next step, like usually, because what I do, I created a task. When it's due for a follow-up, it sends me a text. The way I created it, it sends me a text by the birthday, like a birthday reminder. And in the birthday reminder, you can add the address and add the contact source. The contact source is like, let's say you want to put, I got it from affidavit. But no, what I do on the contact source, I put it as at the notes as far as my follow-up. Okay, I spoke to this client. Let's ask now if they're ready to sell. Because I want to make sure when I get the text, I know the address, I know the phone number, and I know more or less what's the next follow-up looking like. What do I need to do? Being lazy, I I don't want to copy this thing into the notes myself, because that means I have to copy it, put the notes, add the note. Because I wish the notes were much easier. No, when you go to a reply, you have to put add notes. You got to go to notes first, 1 click, add notes, 2 clicks, copy and paste, 4 clicks, and then what's it called? Save, 5 clicks. It's just tedious. For me, it's tedious. So what I did, when it sends me a birthday reminder, right? I have a trigger. Birthday reminder, send me a text, one, and there's an option there that says add note. And then when you go add note, I copy the contact source. So it copies the contact source info that I have, need to follow up, see who's ready to sell, onto the notes. So I have all the notes. So basically, because before, once I delete the note source, the contact source, I don't know what was the previous follow-up. But now it has the number of, it's gonna have on this date, it has this note, and this date, so I know the history. First, it was call the lady, text the lady, check on the reply. Is she ready to sell? She said F off. Again, so all those notes are gonna be added there every time that I get a reminder. So that's.
So when you get the reminder, it's texting it to your phone, right? And then it has
it texts to my phone, one, and then it sends me, that's a task. The reason why I wanted to add a task because on the phone platform, you can't really search it. Because I have 3 numbers, 2 numbers that I'm using right now, which I need to delete the other ones too, or use them. I got 2 numbers that I work. My main one that I can see all the smart list, and then my employee one where I reply to it, right? But I can't look at the smart list on that one where I'm the employee, but I can look at the task. So if you want to look what's going on for today's date, I just go to the task, click the task, and I open the contact. And now also on the task, I copied the contact source there too, so it tells me what it needs. Now let me see if I can show it to you. And again, I liked it because of that, because now I don't have to see it. I can see it in the text, I know, but again, I want to see it also in here. It was just a matter of a copy and paste. So you see, let me see. Let me see.
They show up for your in your calendar, right? The 4th tab, the who is being reminded here today.
Nope. Not in my.
They don't?
You don't want to have it even checked on my calendar. Let me see. Nope, no events on my. See, how can you do
Interesting.
that? Because right, look, see my tasks.
Because there should be a way for you to, because like for example,
Like you see them.
uh
Let me see. You see the first one. It says, "See House and Donna before Mom." See, I have those are contact source notes
right.
that get sent to me. It's on the contact source, and it's also, of course, in the text. If you look at the text, they're like that as well. I get like 20 a day of my follow-ups. For my birthday reminders for the follow-ups. Don't bite me, jerk. So that's the way that little hacks that I got from you as far as doing that. Being able to, because again, I know like, whoa, Ace, you should be able to just, once you see, you should already remind, like, yeah, but I want to see it here. I want to see it here. I was looking. Sorry, we're going. If you gotta go, man, let me know. I don't remember. I'm trying to catch up on last week that I didn't do an hour. So basically,
today, hour and a half or 2 hour session.
Whatever it takes, man. If you gotta go, let me know, and we'll end the podcast. So going back to this, have you ever worked with the if this then that?
I think that's Zapier, isn't it? Like that's
well, it's like Zapier, but the free version of Zapier.
Oh, the free version.
It's a website. It's called if this and that. The reason why I was asking you is I was trying to work with it, but I couldn't get it to work. I wanna, again, because I wanna see, you need to do this. You need to do this. And at everywhere that I look, I wanna be tracked by my, like when you have an ad that tracks you over here and it shows you that on all the platforms that you have. I wanted to see if you know how to do, if my phone number, which is this one, gets a text from this number, which is my outright reply. If I get a text from this number, send it to as a Facebook Messenger note, because you can do that. If you get a text, it can get you a Facebook Messenger one. You can also go into your calendar too. So I was like, if I get it on my calendar, so I want to get reminded on my calendar. I want to get reminded on my phone. I want to get reminded on my task, and I want to get reminded on my email. So I'd be, why is this? Because it creates urgency.
Right.
So again, if I can, like, well, why are you doing it? You're doing an overkill. Like, no, it helps me.
So, can you say that one more time? What do you want the
so
thing to do?
To see, you know how to use that if this then that, one, and two, I want to see once my phone gets a text from the already reply number where I get my follow-ups from. I want those texts to be sent through my phone, through my Facebook Messenger part.
So when you get that calendar reminder notification, you want that to add that to one of your other numbers and then text it to your Facebook Messenger and to add it to your calendar. So
yeah, so I already have it to my phone. I want it for my phone. I also want it to be sent to my email, and I also want it to be sent to my Facebook Messenger. And even if I can get a notification reminder on my Facebook, man, that'll be better, even better. But of course, I want to do it for free. I don't want to do like pay, save.
Yeah, it should. I don't know if then that is it supported in RA reply? It should be.
Yeah. Well, remember, I'm not using RA reply. What I'm using is a text. So if my phone gets a text from this number, like let me go to the website. If
because I haven't done it, but I'm pretty sure that's something that is probably solved before. So it's just a quick lookup away. Yeah.
So let me see. Let me share this with you. This is why I like this call with you, man, because again, I get to fucking my little rat goes.
Yeah, and then the call we had on Monday, you were building off that idea, and it led to more deals. So
yep,
productive.
I'm telling you, it works, man. And I got that deal, that one that I was telling. I'll show you a picture right now because I don't want to give the address, but I will show you the picture. So then you see this, right? So see Google Calendar event trigger. That's one of them, which means if you click to connecting. Notify me when it runs. I want to get a notification. Hold on. Let me go back to the original one that I had seen. Reload. So you go here, you go to Explorer, and you put SMS. I think SMS. Remember, mine's on it's. I can do the Android. I can do the other one. Oh, maybe that's why I wasn't doing it, because I was using my Apple phone, not my Android phone. So I'll look at that one. So you see SMS. Like, what can you do in SMS? Connect. I can connect Alexa, get a text when motion is detected, text me when detected, send SMS when levels. So there's a lot of applets, right? The one that I want to see is, I want to use Facebook. Let me see Facebook. You see Facebook pages, Facebook. Let me see what page Facebook does. Connect to these services. Okay. Back up your photos, automatically change your Twitter, Facebook photo post save on a daily basis. Facebook tag photos, keep your Facebook and Twitter pictures in sync. Facebook status, Twitter. You see, that'll be perfect. Facebook status, when I get a text on my Facebook feed or myself on private, it gives me all the, let me see if I can work with you when I'm here. I want Twitter. So you see, if this could be done, Facebook status update to Twitter. Well, no, you see that. Now I need to Facebook status upgrade from a text. Let me see.
You mean Facebook Messenger, right? You wanted to integrate to Facebook Messenger.
Oh, if I can integrate the Messenger as a message, and if I can integrate it as a Facebook post for myself, even better, man.
Like the private post where you just go into your page. And
it goes into your notifications. Remember, if I look at my fucking consumption of energy, I'm probably on Facebook probably 80% of the time. It's bad. It's a mess.
But I'm pretty sure there is a way.
There is a way that can be done.
There is a way.
See, SMS to Google Drive, save SMS to Google Calendar. That's gonna be one of them. Connect your notify. Let me see. If any news on SMS received, then send email to Gmail. You see, any news on an SMS, send SMS to email. How do you get your reminders? I reply reminders on your email. Like, you got a new lead. Is that something that is done inside
the
SMS?
Email?
Yeah.
Not email. I don't get email reminders. I just get the voicemail. Are you talking about the voicemail reminders?
Okay, so I don't know if that's something that iReply has, where you can get the email reminders for your follow-ups today. I'm pretty sure there's a way you can connect.
I think you can, yeah, pretty sure. But you'll need to link your because you haven't linked your email yet to the account, right?
No,
yeah, you'll need to link your email first.
Send SMS to email, send to pushlet, Android ringer on SMS. So there's a lot of little, because my main thing that I want to do right now is make sure that whatever I had to do today, it's on all the platforms that I use, like the Facebook and the text, my phone, my email, my reply, my task, so that I know for the urgency. Remember, I'm a one-person team, and sometimes you just get backtracked. Again, the hack that I learned from you was to put all my replies from what's it called, from my SMS,
the pipeline.
From the pipeline, today's replies.
The replied versus the not replied smart list.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now I can just go to that one, make sure that one's cleared every single day. Yeah. And again, the other hack about the auto reply, daily calls once every 2 minutes, has gotten me 3 leads, probably 1 deal, which is that one where I'm gonna try to get a loan on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Sorry, I'm basically hogging the time. Anything you want to learn, man? Anything you want to talk about for yourself? Again, this is something that I'm gonna look at more as far as trying to, if this and that. I know you probably run into it as well, and you tell me next time, hey, can you do this or you can do that? Anything you want to talk about? How your foreclosures going, man? I know you were trying to get into the foreclosure game.
Yeah, one of the questions I wanted to ask you is because we were only doing 25, and you said call 300, but how would you readjust the numbers for the voicemail drops? Would you do like 75? Like you're not doing like 150 or 300 voicemail drops a day, right? That'll just make your phone ring all the time. Or is that how much you're doing? For
the foreclosures or for in general?
In general, because you're doing the multiple different lists.
So in general, I'm doing 300 voice drops. Because remember, the way that I'm getting callbacks is one every 2 minutes. It gets a voicemail drop, and I made those call me back. So those are I'm doing 300 voice drops a day.
Because because if you're doing because you said you were doing 20 an hour, right? Because
Yeah, I'm doing 30. So one every 2 minutes, so it's 30 an hour.
you switched it up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I
Right,
do
right,
it,
right.
if I do it for, and it stops at 7 or 6 p.m., that's
So
probably
you do
8
it for 10
hours.
hours. So you're doing 10 because it's 30
Yeah, 10
times 10. 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from the morning from 8:30 to like 7 p.m.
And but you also said that you dropped the first one and then the second one drops like a couple hours later,
Yeah.
right?
So the one drops, let's say at 8 in the morning or 8:30,
Mhm.
and the other one drops probably at 1 p.m.
Okay.
like 5 hours later.
Okay.
And then you get a text like 10 minutes later after that.
Okay. So your VA would be working extremely overtime, right? Because to collect 300 leads, because these are all fresh leads from the county.
Well, these are the leads that I had. Remember, I have a lot of leads in my.
Is this the 4,000 one that we found, or is it
for the 4,000? I'm already getting replies as well. For the 4,000 that were replied from a long time ago. So what I did,
right?
Oh, let me see if I can show it to you. Let me see what just. So
I
for
think
my
you were just text blasting those, right? You weren't
yes,
doing the voice
the
note.
way I did it for the text blast, those 4,000 became. Hold on, let's see. Did I save the? There we go. Those 4,000 became 1,500.
Mm-hmm.
The way they became 1,500 were Podio accounts were removed. What I'm seeing right here. So I removed Podio leads, I removed DNCs, I removed debt, I removed wrong numbers, I removed not for sales, no offer made, not interested, not selling. So I removed all those. So it filtered them down from 4,000 to 1,400, and then also to like 2,000, right? And then I removed anything that was less than a year ago. So that went to 1,454. That's how much leads were turned in from the 4,000 that were not replied ever. I got that other replies.
Mm-hmm.
I put them in I started tag, replied, started the whole tag, boom, right? That was from the old ones, right? The next thing that I did is I removed the replied section. Well, first I did reply, perfect, boom, boom. I saved the list. Untouched leads 722, which was the month, right? So it saves the smart list. And then I removed the reply, and then I removed the reply tag, so it doesn't mix with my new ones.
Right.
Right. That's two things.
Do you manually update the every day that you do that, and then like you got to clear yesterday's because it doesn't automatically remove, does it?
Yeah. So the two reply tags that I told you that I did from your hack, right. What it does, I make sure that I reply to all of those.
Mm-hmm.
That I remove the reply and the callback numbers, the tags, I remove them, so it doesn't mix with the new ones. So
because we can set it up. I'm sorry for interjecting. We can set it up for if you reply to it, it automatically removes it and then puts it back into the other list. So if there's two lists, right? It's basically the replied list and the not replied list.
Okay.
So if they reply to you, it'll move it over from the non-replied to the replied, and if they don't reply to you after a certain date, it can move it over to the not replied for it to
that'll be awesome, because again, going back to I want to again minimize clicks. The way that I'm replying to it, and if it says no or says did you get an offer or whatever, if it's like that, then you get my offer. Let's say they reply to me, who's this? And then I put, this is whatever. Mm-hmm. I remove the reply, I remove the callback. And then what I do so I can differentiate them from new ones to old ones, I put responded. That means that I responded to them. And then if they keep on texting me, it goes back to the reply box. But also I'm gonna create another smart list for all of those that I replied to them and they didn't text me back as responded. Let me look at the respondents, how many did not reply from the second reply that I sent them. Right. But if you can do that, where as soon as I reply, it removes replied, it removes callback, it adds responded, and it removes, once you remove the reply, it removes them from the smart list.
Because I know there is a way, I need to figure out exactly how to do it again. But I know for sure, because I've seen this done many times.
Many times.
As soon as somebody replies from you from that thing, it automatically puts them into another campaign. So if they do not reply to you, it'll in 2 or 3 days, it'll send them a follow-up text. So you have to look at it. So
Perfect.
basically just keep
just wait for them. Basically, that's awesome.
Because they replied back to you, right? So that means they showed some kind of interest, even if it's like, who are you? That's still a level of interest.
Yeah.
And then you'll keep like hitting them again and again.
And I think it would be perfect if I put replied, my name is this. Remove all the reply, remove the callbacks, add the respond tag, and then after 3 days, if they don't respond to that one, it send a, hey, did you get my text? That'll be awesome. And remember, all this for the people that are watching, we are doing all this because I'm a one-person man. I want to be able to. I know I'm doing things that could have been done easier if I get a software. Perfect. I don't want to I want to be streamlined. I want to be thin as far as my footprint, as thin as possible, so I can again keep more of the money from the business. And anybody can do it. Once you are so slim that your monthly expenses are like under $700, $100, $1,000, that's super slim. You're thin. You're thin. So it's good to do that. And that's why I'm doing it by myself, doing these little hacks here and there so that I can keep doing it as myself, but allowing the system to do and help me do more as one person team.
Yeah, you know what? I think you should talk about that because a lot of people watching are probably one people team. They don't have a VA and they have REI reply. You know, that's very important because sometimes they don't want to manage the VA. They would much rather build up the system or something like that for it to do all the processes for it.
Yeah, and that's the best way. Again, one of the things that our economy is going through a change right now, and the reason why you want to be able to be thin and not to be a thick person as far as business wise is because the thinner you are, the better you're mobile. That's why I don't have an office. That's why I don't have all this crazy stuff because that's why I don't have employees. Imagine if my overhead was 30K and the economy goes to shits. Man, that means I gotta fire. If I don't make money, that means I gotta fire people. That means I gotta end their livelihood. And again, big business is good, but once you remove overhead costs, salary, bonuses, everything, again, you're making. Let's say you make $300K a month. It's good, right? It's good. It's great money. But going back to like the footprint, you're like to keep that monster moving. It has a lot of little heads that gotta be working at the same goal. And that's part of team building. Again, if you can do that, perfect. For me, I want to be myself. Again, my goal is 40 deals a month, 40 deals a year. Again, keep some properties, earn more properties. Also for myself, reduce my costs because again, I don't need anything fancy. I do buy fancy stuff and once in a while, but I'm real thin as far as my monthly expenses. And that way it keeps you mobile. And this economy issues does not hurt you. Because if I don't close a deal in 6 months, let's say everything goes to shit, you can't close a deal in 6 months. It's only, my VA is, right now, my cost is going actually down because my VA is gone.
Is he still in jail?
My co-caller, yeah, he hasn't called. So I'm probably doing around $300 a month. I pay my VA $60 a week. So that's $240, another, let's say $300. I'm doing like $500 a month, marketing wise. Remember, right now, the only thing that's variable right now is my Tulio. I want to see once I consistently do this 300 calls a day through my Tulio, I want to see how much Tulio is charging me. Last month, Tulio charged me $90 for all the drops. The month before that, it was $20. So right now, so far as today, it's like 120.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go up a little bit because because if you're doing 300 and then you're doing it twice, because I don't think you're doing it. So I think it's I believe 2 cents per voicemail or something like that, right?
Is it 2 cents?
It's 2 cents. I think it's like I think it's like 1.8 cents
of a cent, right? So
no. It's like 1.8 cents. So it's like almost 2 cents.
Okay, so that's that. I didn't know that. How much is the text?
The text is like 0.075
of a cent.
Like yes, like 3/4 of a cent. Yeah.
And the voicemail is 2.5 cents.
No, 1.8, so almost 2 cents.
So it's 2 cents. So that's double the cost.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit more than double. It's almost like triple the cost.
Yeah. So triple the cost.
But it's more effective, I think. It's more effective because everybody's texting and not enough people are
voice dropping.
That voice drop. and it's
So
effective. I mean, even though it's 3 times more more expensive, it replaces your cold caller, right? Because you're paying a significant amount for the when they
the cold
call,
caller.
right?
Yeah.
You're spending I think about amount 0.07 for that 1 minute that they're dialing, and then you're paying the hourly for the cold caller, and then you're also paying the bonus. I mean, of course, you said this, the stewardship is, you know, important.
Yeah.
But if he's not there, this is better than the texting
Mhm.
and like the middleman substitute between the cold caller.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
But
yeah,
it might
definitely.
get expensive.
Yeah.
But it might
So
get
like
expensive.
for right now, those 2,500 leads that I'm sending, right?
Mhm.
I'm charging I'm sending in, if it goes through the whole campaign, it's 2 voicemails and a text.
Yeah.
So if I'm getting 4 cents for the voicemails, which is 2 and 2, right?
Yeah.
And then 0.7, so I'm literally charging
It's about like
0.027
5
cents.
cents, a little bit under 5 cents for.
So
like,
let's say
content.
5 cents per lead, right? Times
And
20.
then you're calling them too, right? So like that's a 1, 2, 3 minute conversation. Like if you reach them, if you don't reach them, then
Yeah.
you're not counting that.
So this is why it makes sense. If I do dial 300, if I do RVM 3 things, if I do 300 leads through the whole campaign, 2 voicemails and a text, it's $15 a day.
Yeah.
So then that's why it's 15 times 20 days in the hour in the week. Yeah, $300. So I'm gonna be most likely, because I think
it's the same.
Yeah, but again, what the good thing is this, I know that number. I'm hoping that it's gonna be around 300. What I'm gonna do, I might just kill one voicemail and add 2 texts. 1 voicemail, 2 texts, instead of being 2 voicemails, 1 text, to reduce my cost in half, to make this $300 a month, $250 a month, and I'll test how that works. You know what I mean? Because again,
like what you said on Monday, like just get the first one using the strategy and then scale back, right? Because the first one is always
reverse. Okay, yeah, exactly. And then again, if I want to get more, I'll double it, and I'll see, instead of being 1 text, it's 1 text for 1 number every 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna add another number, because I have a lot of data points. I have old code violations. I have old low income, low credit. I have old affidavits that I can just text them. And right now, there's 2 campaigns that I'm running. I'm running this one, which is a 1 dial text, which is the RVM text from the from the stack data that I had, where I told you last time that I was doing the tax stacks. That's around 2,500 leads, and then I'm doing a text for those 4,000 that became 1,400 that I've never replied ever, and that's 2 texts a day. 2 texts a day. There's no calls. So I just put, hey, I'm just touching base. We had talked about your property. Insert. Did you sell it, or you decide to keep it? That's just a text, just texting. So I'm running those 2 campaigns in 2 different numbers, and that's how I'm running. So I'll probably, now that I know the voicemail was more expensive than the text.
Yeah.
And again, I was gonna see it, and eventually, in the Twilio part, but I wish I would have known. Now I know that it's almost triple the cost than a text. Then I might.
But I also think that it also has probably tripled the response. It's like not exactly triple the response rate, but it gives you,
a better.
Like that.
Because remember, again, it gives me more conversations.
Right.
Than a text.
Right.
Because when I'm conversating, and that's why I'm answering live, because if I get conversations, I can more or less hear out the client. Yeah. And remember, if it's a good lead, that's his address, I'm adding in a follow-up.
Yeah.
So that's smart on that one. So I'm gonna do. I was gonna write it down. What else? So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to figure out how to do what's it called. Again, if you figure it out faster than me, let me know how to. As soon as I reply, it removes the tags. Remove tags.
Oh yeah.
And adds
to
1 tag. Yeah. And if no reply after 3 days, sends text with maybe like a little question mark, or did you see my text?
Would you say after 1 day, or would you like it to be after 3 days?
Probably after 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
Because remember, I'm still getting, I want to track how many calls I get a day
Right.
from the current campaign that I'm doing with dials. Because I don't want to overwhelm myself. You know what I mean? Because let's say from all this, they don't reply. They do reply to me, and I get an extra 50 calls. So like, that's probably going to be an extra 10 calls. I'm already doing 30, 40. Again, I don't want to get overwhelmed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to keep it where it's manageable. Again, there's a new lead source that I'm doing as far as RVM text. If I get a couple of deals a month, plus whatever I get on other channels, again, it's working all around. You know what I mean? So again, I don't want to push it where I'm pushing the engine to a full rev as far as being 7,000, 8,000. It's going to mess up the engine. I mean, I want to keep it under 25, 3,500 RPM where it's still manageable.
Quick question. Can you tell me a little bit more about the list that you blasted again? Because I think you said it was an old list of like code violations or something.
Yeah, so I haven't blasted that. Right now, my only 2 campaigns that are going out is those 4,000 that we found last time. There were old replies.
Mm-hmm.
I removed all those tags, not selling, etc.
Right.
And I removed replies less than a year.
Uh-huh.
And those 4,000 became 1,400 accounts.
Right.
And those are going on I think 200 a day batch throughout the day.
In texting, right?
In texting. And they're saying, hey, did you get my, and that usually from those, I don't get too many calls. I do get a lot of text replies. Not that many text replies, but I do get replies.
Did you fix the texting for it's like 1 every 20, or is it all going at once?
For that one, I think it's you know what, let me check. For that one, I don't mind because it's text. I don't really care if it's going all at once. I just put that it goes 200 a day. Let me see. I might already have gone through it already. Let me see.
And maybe you want to check if it's some of it's failing, like, because you want to make sure that that the numbers, all of them are going through, right? Like if you're sending 200, you want to make sure that at least 180 is going through.
So it says here, I don't even know what campaign I use. It says more than 210 days old text. Yeah, that's that one. That's the one that I did. Okay. So that one already did. It went out. Mm-hmm. It already completed. It did a 69% delivery, 30% failed.
Okay. Yeah. So you're gonna need to fix something. Go into the failed, because that's good to know now, right? Because that means the next few times it will have a higher delivery rate.
Yeah.
So you should go into failed, and you can see the why it failed. Because your numbers might be landlines. That means like when you skip traced it, or maybe they changed their phone numbers, because it's been a year, right? So a lot of people change their phone numbers.
Yeah. How do I? Hold on. Let me share this with you. Because it's the good thing is not sharing anything. Okay. You see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do I check if it was the failed?
So go not in automations, but go into contacts.
Hold on, because this one will show. I just want to be private.
That one. Go into
conversation or contacts.
Contacts, okay. And then go into bulk actions.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you're checking the delivery rates. And
this
then
one,
you want.
Okay, let me see. Yeah. But you can't tell anything here either. Okay, bulk
go
action.
Show stats. So click the one that is the 210 days. Remove replied. Is that not that one?
That's the one. Which one?
It should be go back to next.
Next screen.
Do you remember next?
No, it should be this one. So this is the latest ones that I started.
Oh yeah. The bulk campaign. Yeah, the bulk campaign, the complete one. Show stats.
So it's not this one. This one, because this one it's an import bulk campaign. Well, it has to be that one.
Yeah, it's probably that one, but you probably took 2 or 3 days for it to like, you probably something like that. But click successful. Click the word successful. Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, that's where they moved it to, huh?
It doesn't show your delivery rate. It's interesting.
Let me see. No, because this one shows 100% delivery rate. You see? Error
Yeah,
zero.
it says that, but then when you look at the actual deliverability.
Oh, I guess it did deliver. It did send the text, but someone might have been unsuccessful. Let me see. I guess they're all success. Let me see. Bulk import, no tag.
Yeah, it's not any of those because they're
It
not
might be the next one.
the
Yeah,
campaign.
Because
Those aren't. Yeah, they're not recent.
You see, it's 59%. Right.
Click on it. Click the show stats.
Let me see.
Show stats. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably that list.
Yeah.
So it doesn't show the error, which is interesting.
Then we go to the back. Success.
So I'll have to mess around. But usually,
I remember that you can remove the unsuccessful, because on the other campaign, when you go to automations and you go to campaigns, it says right here. We're still right here. More than 120 days response. See, 35% failed.
Click on it. Does it let you show the?
No, it's not click. Well, actually, yeah. There we go.
Okay,
No.
okay, that's great. That's what I was looking for.
That's stupid.
Okay, there you go.
They made me click the number.
That's interesting. Okay, so good. We ended on the same thing. Click the X, so you can see those right there, right? 306, 3003, 3. So I believe 3006 is the landline, and 3003, either 3300 or 33006. One of them is a landline, and one of them is just like the number is not good or some stuff like that. But the one that you need to pay attention to is 3007, which means so you can export the whole list actually. So click that again. You can click the and then you can sort it by the error code. So you can sort it by the 3037, and the 3007 you can basically retext them again, and you just change the message a little bit. It means that your message contains spam words.
Oh, contains. I didn't even know that. Contain.
Yeah.
Spam.
And then with the other ones, for like 3003, 3006, you're gonna have to remove them because those numbers are bad numbers. So you don't want to retext them again, right?
And they're bad numbers for texting, or they're bad numbers in general?
They're bad numbers for texting. But I think so. The landline ones you can still call, of course.
Which ones are landlines? What code is it? I
believe. Let me double check for you. Let me see. 3006. Toledo. I think 3006 is a potential landline. So you can of course call them and see if it does something, but I think 3003 is just like bad number or something.
I get you.
No, this one is sent from a short code that the destination has a wireless plan that does not support short code. So it's possible you can call that number too. But those numbers you should not send another text to. So that's good that you figured that out, because then you would be spending money sending
on those three. Yeah.
on those then that they're not going to ever give you results. And the 3007, that means your message needs to be changed for future campaigns. Like there's a word in there that's a flaggable word. So just touching base. We talked about your house. Any updates on selling are still not ready.
Probably selling.
So selling and house are usually flaggable words. Some people disagree, but the word house, it usually gets flagged a lot, and the word selling. So what I do is I misspell the word selling. So maybe you miss an I, you miss a G, you miss an L.
Yeah.
You put a dot in there, you put a slash or something. And then the same thing with house. So you can just say, I saw your place.
Okay.
Right. Or I saw your I don't know, your something that's not house. Your comfort zone. That sounds kind of weird. Your mom's place.
Yeah.
Something like that.
One of the things, so you're telling me which ones are, so going back to the codes, 307 is because message.
Yeah,
Contains flags.
3003 and 3006, you need to change them and don't text them.
Don't text them?
Don't text them. You can call them probably. I haven't called them, but they need to be removed. And those are almost like non-fixable.
The 3006?
Yeah, 3003 and 3306. And that's why you need to check your campaigns because you need to remove those numbers because most likely yours is not here, but your other campaigns, I know you have a multi-tier message follow-up. So your second one and third one are never going to get delivered to it, and you're just wasting money on them.
Okay. So when you say you need to remove from the campaign or remove from your RA reply?
Remove it from the SMS campaign. Okay. So you can.
So what I'm going to do again, what I'm going to do is from all, again, I'm going to go back on, because again, I probably texted 90% of my numbers here.
Oh shit.
Already since the beginning, because I was paying almost close to 1,000 a month in texting.
Oh shit.
So what
were you checking the delivery rate?
What?
No, right?
Probably a month into it. Yeah. What I'm gonna do is again, it's gonna be tedious. I'm gonna download all my unsuccessful old campaigns. I wonder if I can check those. Probably, right?
You can. Yeah. So because usually I don't use these campaigns. I use workflows and I use messagings, but you can go back and you can do the same thing for the campaigns, and then you can just go through them.
You see all my campaigns here, 3,000, 5,000 numbers.
But it's a good thing because that means you have leads that you can text again, right? Yes. That will get a better response rate. Now you get a better response rate with the money that you already have spent.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm telling you is like all these campaigns that I've done before, right? All these, because these are completed, right?
Right.
1,400, 1,600. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna download them all. I'm gonna download all the errors, right? Yeah. And then I'm gonna all the 3006s and 3003s. I'm gonna re-upload them with a tag that puts landline only.
Yeah.
That means and when I do my text, I'm just gonna be conscious that let's say I get 30 numbers, right? Boom. And I'm gonna text them right now. I'll get the numbers and I'll put does not include landline as a tag. So I can just send those as text now for the future. Because again, if you look at that, again, 1,400, 2,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 12,000. You see, I've texted a lot of numbers. You know what I mean? So that's the way I'm going to tag them to remove that. All these I'm going to put them in an RVM campaign without a text follow-up because the text doesn't work. Yeah.
What I would do first is I would make sure that, let's say you have out of your, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 of these 3,003, 3,006, I would put them through the dialer campaign. So you just have it ring, right? To make sure that it's a good number. It's a good number. Yeah.
And then if that fails from the ring, because do you know if it's an RVM, when it rings a landline, it still tries to ring it, it just doesn't drop the voicemail?
I'm not sure. I haven't tried that, but you can do a small test, like for 5 to 10 of them with the RVM, and you can figure it out.
But I need somebody that has a landline.
Yeah, but your list probably has the 3003, 3006 is more than likely a landline. Or you can use the website phonevalidator.net or .com, and it shows you if it's a landline or if it's a wireless number. So you can plug it in, I think. Okay. And you should be able to figure out if it's a landline or not. And then you could just have that 5-10 list, and you just test that concept. Okay. Because I don't mind that the voicemail doesn't get dropped. I just want to make sure that the phone rings. Yeah. Because I think if I'm mistaken, just let me know. When we initiate an RVM, it does 2 things. It dials out so that the seller can see a ring, right? But it automatically hangs up, right? Mm-hmm. And then it drops the voicemail. Is that the way it works? I think. Does it ring once, or does it just automatically go to voicemail? Because when people spam us, doesn't it just directly go to voicemail? I never hear it ring. Well, the reason why I'm asking you is because why am I getting callbacks if the seller's telling me that I just got a call? Oh, well, the callback tag is if they called you.
No. When sellers call me back, they said somebody just called me.
Well, I think because in your voicemail, right? So they got it to their voicemail, and then they checked the voicemail, and then they're gonna say somebody called.
No, because sometimes they don't even check. Because there was a trick that I used to use, is that in the voicemail it has another number. But I'm thinking
what you can do is you can add your own number to the campaign, and then just test it.
Yeah,
See if it rings.
I think let me answer this call real quick.
Nice.
Yeah, hello. Hello. Sí, buenas tardes. Oiga, no sé si recibió nuestra carta, le habíamos marcado. Era tocante la casita, no sé, déjame checarla aquí, boladita. Me pescó aquí con mi perrito. Es la casa ahí en la Valdivia, perdón. ¿Es usted esa casita? ¿Es su casa? ¿Cómo? Okay. No, it's my house. So again, hold on. Okay. Technology. So again, I'm hearing an echo here. Okay. What is?
But it seems like a lot of people like these longer formats. Earlier there was like 14, 15 people in here, but there's still 12, 13 people watching. So
again, one of the things that I've seen is that breaking down deals and breaking down things like that, again, that has a lot of value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, because if I was starting in this business, I would like to know all this. You know what I mean? From how you got the lead to how you
start
made
to
it
finish, right?
Exactly.
Process,
And if I was starting myself, how do I become a six-figure earner just by doing this one myself?
Right.
Because again, if you look at it, again, a doctor might earn $250 a year. Again, if you can do it by myself without, again, which is just a right reply, and keeping my costs at around what, $800 a month, $500 a month if you don't have a VA. Especially with this hack, I might not need the VA. Again, hopefully he gets out. But I know he's good because I got deals from him, right? But again, what I can do is, remember, if all these warm leads where they're calling me already and they said no, I'll just give those, just do follow-ups. There's not again, use your charm, Enrique, to be able to get more leads like this. So he's good at what he does. Once he's on the call, he's good. Consistency wise, he fails at that. So again, based on that, this hack is gonna, again, it looks like it has a lot of potential to be able to help me work through all my leads consistently, 300 dials on a day, talk to 30 people a day and one number, and then just go from there. You know what I mean? I don't know how many, let me ask you this, you probably know this more than me. For, what's it called? For calls when you're on the phone, when you actually dial out, how long does that charge you?
I think it charges you because it charges different for inbound calls and outbound calls, right?
Okay, what's the outbound call that looking like?
I think the outbound call is, let me double check here, but I think the outbound call is pretty expensive. It's like $1.05. So I think your cold caller.
No, you think so? I don't.
Not $1.05, a penny 5.
Oh, like, oh shit, $1.05.
Yeah, $1.05 would be a little bit too much, right?
Yeah.
Because Twilio's pricing is, I believe, 0.0075 for inbound calls, and then 0.0015 for outbound calls.
So what's the outbound looking like?
Right here. No, actually, I'm incorrect. It says right here 0.008, so an eighth of a cent
to dial
receive
out.
calls.
Okay,
no, to receive.
And to out?
0.013. But actually, it's a little bit more expensive because REI Reply charges a little bit of a fee.
Okay.
But not much. It's still an eighth of a cent and basically 0.013.
1/10 of a penny.
Yeah, no, it's a penny to make it a call. A penny
So-
and 3/10 of a penny.
To make a call.
Yeah.
Plus the premium for REI Reply, right? They charge you an extra.
Our replies premium is just like it's not even that much. It's just a slight premium. It's not crazy.
Okay. So again, what I can do, if I know once I run this campaign of those 2,500 accounts that I have, as far as RVMing, and I'm getting, let's say, if I do one every 2 minutes on an 8-hour period, I get 30 calls. What I do, since I know my co-caller Enrique is really good at calls, I'll put his own campaign, but and then let's say it gets me one call every 10 minutes. If I do one text every 2 minutes, right? I'll get one call back.
Right.
Or if I can, once that's proven concept, I'll maybe do 2 dials or 3 dials, 3 drops a minute, so he can get one call every 2 minutes and be on the phone.
Yeah.
Because I know he's good at answering the calls. Why? And the reason why I'm gonna be looking at this for the opposite, if it charges me 2 and 2, what was the RVM drop cost?
0.0182.
The RVM 1.0812.
So it's about almost 2 cents. So it's a 0.01.
So let's say it's 2 cents to drop one, right? And my campaign has 2 of those and a text. So it's almost 5 cents per campaign.
Yep.
And if I just do one drop, it goes for 2 cents. Then I can save the 3 pennies for others, and I'll just have my VA. So now I pay my VA $3.50 an hour, right? $3.50 an hour.
Yeah.
So then you look at, okay, $3.50 an hour divided by 60 minutes. It's 5 cents a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm doing 5 cents a minute with a VA that I'm paying him, plus 2 cents is 7 cents.
Yeah, but remember, it's also cheaper when you do the RVM, because when you do that strategy, they're calling you back, right? So when you pick up, it's an inbound cost. So it's half the cost to get that inbound.
Exactly. So you see how I'm just trying to offset how many dials he needs to do, how many actual contacts he has to do an hour, so that I can offset the cost.
Right.
So yeah, man, great. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't even know. I kind of see the overall cost in Tulio when they charge me. So far in Tulio, see, because I run my running cost. Hold on, running cost. What's it called? I run my running cost on an Excel sheet, and for Tulio is the month of January was $89.
Mm-hmm.
The month of February was $94. The month of March was $24. The month of April was $30. The month of May was $22. And then the month of June was $152.
Wow.
So that's when I started doing. Hold on, let me see. I think it was that one. I think that might have been July that I'm running. Let me see. I'll check right now. And I just need to reverse engineer my cost so that I can, again, my KPIs, I know exactly, you know what, this way I can offset. Like I was telling you, go back when you told me about that skip tracing for $59 a month.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I need to also get into it and sit down so I can offset the cost. And again, if you guys know what this conversation is for, it's all about cost, reducing costs, but still having the same or better impact. And utilizing your resource, being more resourceful instead of relying on resources. Because I already have REI Reply, so I'm already paying the $49 a month for REI Reply. How can I squeeze it to be more resourceful with it?
Yeah, and
So
what I liked is that you talked about before is having the websites, right? The websites you pay $20 for 1 year or 2 years, because they were doing a special. I got one for the one I made, $20 for 2 years. So the domain for 2 years, the hosting and everything.
Yeah.
So
it shows here for June, it was $142 in cost. June, let me see. Let me just make sure.
Was your cold caller still dialing for June?
Yes, there was dialing, and actually it shows 151. It shows Messages was $80 in messages. RVMs was $54.
Interesting.
Answering machine detection was $3, and the phone numbers at $6 a month. So I had $54 in RVMs, right? Those are programmable text, right?
I'm not sure what RVM would be, but it probably maybe that one is it for programmable
So yeah,
text.
because messages I had, and then you break it down. How many campaigns did I run that made me? So that one, and so far in July. Hold on, let me check real quick. Right now I'm at 104 cost, and $56 in text and $34 in RVMs. So you see, it's because I'm doing more text. I want to see at the end of the month how much text, because I started this when we spoke last week, so it's been a week, almost 2 weeks this week.
Yeah.
So again, it's just a matter of running numbers, staying lean, and that's what I'm telling you. This is why my podcast is about staying lean, but having the biggest impact. And again, I can say it over and over. It's 40 deals a year. That's it. That's 40 deals. That's my goal. 40 deals a year, and that's it. I'm good with that. Using all the resources that I have as far as RA reply, hosting all the websites, the GMBs, the texting, the RBMs, RA replies, and talking to you, man. Again, you've saved me a lot of time, which is good. I'm able to leverage that with you, which is good, and I appreciate it, Victor.
Yeah, and don't worry, I get the same amount of value because I get to pick your brain, just steal your proven process already. So, and you're experimenting in that dimension, and so it's like, if I can contribute an idea and you're testing it, right? You're in the battlefield. Like, does the idea actually work in theory, or is it like we're building basically the MVP process, right? So we're figuring out some kind of system and then immediately testing it to see if it gets a deal or not. If not, scrap it and figure out a new system.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's good, man. Again, we're kind of trying to when this is kind of is we're trying to hack the shit out of our reply.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you can be a one-person team, make 100K a year, multiply it, and be something that you can replicate it, and your cost is real low. I'm pretty sure if you want to make 20 deals a year, you can probably do it with $300 a month. I am pretty sure. Just make sure you had the right money in the right places.
Can you break that down? Because I know before you said $700 was your monthly cost.
Yeah.
But that was like three or 4 months ago, and your strategy is different now.
Yeah.
Can you break that down? How you were using the $700 a month, and then how you would say the $300 a month?
So if it was $300 a month, what I would do in my area, it'll be $100 in bandit signs. Probably you can do it with $60 in bandit signs, because you can do the big bandit sign that's 12 by 18, cut it in half, 2 signs. That's one. So let's say you do $100 in bandit signs. You got $49 in RBR reply.
Right.
Okay. That's 150. So now you got 150. What else can I do 150? I don't need a DocuSign. I don't need a script tracing, because you can do the free people search. If you want to do the RBR reply, the paid service for the for the scraping and the script tracing, I'm thinking I'm doing that once I have a lot of data. I wouldn't do it right now. So there's 2 things. And let's say, what else? My phone, I have my personal phone. You can do that. You can add $10 for your personal phone. You don't have to, but again, personal phone. That's why I'm at 160. What else? Websites. Once you buy them and everything's said and done, it'll probably be $1 a month for the website. And if you have 10, so it's $10 to 10 websites. That's 10 websites. That's one. I'm already at 150, 160, 170. I don't have a VA because I'm doing it myself. Program script tracing, no. Mighty Text, I don't need it because now I'm using RR reply. Tulio, that's variable as far as how much data points you have. RR replies already counted. Recording, that's it. So then what's my only variable? So I'm already at 170 right now. So literally I have $130 to do texting, SMS texting, voicemail drops, etc. And if you look at my numbers for last month, I don't have anything private here. Let me see. if you look, I wish like Zoom can just zoom in certain ways. So last month, I had, when I was doing heavy in texting and blasting, I spent 150 in texting and blasting. So if you reduce it, so now let's say, okay, I did $80 in texting. Okay, let's reverse engineer that. What's the cost of one text?
0.007, so it's like almost
70% of a penny, right?
Yeah.
So $89 divided by 0.007. Wow, shit. I can text blast once 12,000 numbers in 1 month with that cost, right? But most likely I'll probably have a campaign that has 3 texts. So divided by 3. So I can text blast 4,000 numbers 3 times. Now, are you going to have 4,000 numbers? No. Why? Because you're going to be doing niche data. Again, if you don't have what's called if you don't have a prop string, which I don't recommend you having it, it's too much, too high of a membership. What I'll do, yeah, $100 a month is a lot. Because remember, I only have $130 left, right? So I need to get my data for free. So this is where you go in there. If you go into my old YouTube videos, what you do is you mine the counties, like the ones you search at that hack that you search on Google. Code violations, what's online? Code violations, pre-foreclosures, affidavit of heirship, power of attorneys, wills, divorces, probates. So that's 8 sources there. You mine those. Let's say on a weekly basis from 3 counties, you get 100. Sure, you can text those persons 110 times in a month. If you really look at it, because I'm texting 12,000 numbers. If I only have 100 data points a week, I can set up a campaign for 5 text blast in a week. 5 text touches, right? So if I get 100 1 week, it was gonna be boom, 100 texts. We're out. It's nothing, dude. It's literally pennies. That's one source. You're gonna do the bandit signs. You're gonna wait for calls. The bandit signs is attached to your reply, forwards to your phone number. That's 2 sources. Texting, blasting, texting, bandit signs. That's 2 sources. 3rd source, driving for dollars, free. Drive for dollars. People search. Let's say you do 100 a week in new properties, because you're doing a brand new 100 properties a week. You go to people search. You search them. You do. Let's say you do. My goal is to do 10 a day. Find 10 new properties. So in a day, scrape them. You can skip trace them, and then you text them, and then you call them. So then your 3rd option is going to be calls. So one's going to be the SMSs, one's going to be the driving for dollar, the bandit signs, where they're going to be calling you, and then you're going to be doing the blasting for the RBMs and text. So then that's your 3. Right now, those are your 3 legs. GMBs are free. So you're going to create a free GMB. You're going to get a letter to your house to get verified as GMB. Then you're going to create a YouTube video that attaches to your GMB. And then in your GMB, you attach in your Google and YouTube video, you attach your GMB. And then you're gonna have an SEO, a page, a website that has your number and we buy houses, etc. That's free, literally within the $49. That has your GMB and it has your YouTube video. And then you're gonna link your YouTube video to your GMB and to your email and to your website. And in your website, you have your GMB and your YouTube video. And you're gonna upload videos on a daily basis. You're gonna set them up every day. I'm gonna record a house, I'm driving for dollars, etc., etc. And then I'm gonna cut them to 15-second sections, and set it up that every day it searches that. And in the copy of the YouTube video, it has I buy houses, etc., etc. Now remember, GMBs are free. If you're gonna do again, I wouldn't again, but if you're barely starting, creating a GMB for your house, you get the letter. Create a GMB with a different. One hack is that you can't use the same number. I didn't know this. That's why my GMBs were going down. So get 3 numbers or 5 numbers with our reply. 1 GMB for your house, 1 GMB for your mom's house, for your brother's house. Remember, you're still living at home. Your brother's house, your sister's house, a friend's house, etc. Because you want to get 3 or 5 different numbers, letters. So you can have what? Go ahead.
So, sorry, the tangent, because I do remember watching one video. It was an older video that you were talking to with Steve. Steve Driscoll. It says that if you were driving for dollars and you found a vacant house, you said that you would put a sign on the house and then wait for the owner to
That's
call
a
you
guerrilla
or
hack.
something like that. That's a hack too, right?
Yeah, it's a hack too. So let's say first you get let me go back to the driving for dollars leads. You drive for dollars, right? Remember, you live in your town. You have to literally learn your town. So you map your town, etc. You get again, if you're scared, F it. You just do skip trace it and you text it, right? If you track it and they fail, you're like, well, man, I called them, I text them, I maybe emailed them, no one's answering me. So now you get a specific number on a reply, a new number, and then you go to Home Depot, they're 99 cents, the for sale by owners. And all you do is go in there and in front of the house, it's been vacant, you know what it's called you, for sale by owner. And then put your number. There's two conversations you're gonna get. People that are interested and the actual owner. So for the people that are interested, hey, Mr. X, thank you for calling me. Again, we're just answering company. Again, I know there's a property. What's the address? He's like, you don't know. No, like I'm telling you, we're just answering company. Oh, it's a house by Main Street. Okay, Main Street. Okay, so what's going on with this property? Again, it might be coming up to the market. We're kind of mapping what more or less somebody will pay for this property. If you had a cash offer, what would be the cash offer for that property? Remember, I'm not selling it. I'm just saying it might come up to the market. Oh, okay, I'll do 30K. Okay, Mr. Sir, okay, 30K, that's cash, right? Okay, and have you ever worked with the title company as far as closing fast? Well, okay, we're looking to close in 10 days. Perfect, so it's 30K. So Mr. X, phone number is this, wants to pay 30K cash, perfect. There's one type of call that's gonna come in. Okay. The second call is gonna be the owner. Or it might be a neighbor that's saying, so yeah, you're selling this house. Oh, everything they told me. The only thing they told me, Mister, is that this property might come up into the market. So all we're doing is just a survey to see how much somebody will pay for this property. What do you mean survey? Like, yeah, we're just doing, like I'm telling you, we're just an answering company. Mr. Robert Garcia hired us through Facebook Marketplace as far as marketing companies as the answering company. It's like, oh, so who's Robert Garcia? He's the one that hired us. Okay, can I have his number? Well, the only way we communicate is through email. But again, part of our company privacy is that we cannot give you the email. We can definitely have us send him an email saying that you want to talk to him. That's most likely going to be the owner.
Right.
But remember, you're just a marketing company. And
so how would you turn it around?
Wait. So I'm getting there. So we're just a marketing company again. And part of our privacy is that we cannot share we can share the name because he told us to give you the name. Robert Garcia, whatever name, your name. But what we can do is I already have your number. What's your name and your email so he can call you or email you directly. Perfect. You get the number. There's two ways you can do it. You can be the chicken shit way to do it, and you can be the smart way to do it. A lot of people are scared because they don't want confrontation. I've done it as far as confrontation wise. There's a way it goes for the confrontation. You call him back. Yeah, Mr. X, yeah. You spoke to Alex earlier today saying that you wanted for me to call you back about that property in Main Street. Yeah, why'd you put a sign there? Well, actually, what happens, sir, is that we have a marketing team in the local area. Again, we've been trying to reach the property owners for a while, and sometimes they don't get paid if I don't get a contact with the actual owner. And when they do, they get aggressive and they put the for sale by owner. Not that we're selling it, we just want to get the interest of the actual owner to call us back. That's the one way you do it. Whoa, you're doing this. I apologize. Again, I can definitely talk to my marketing company that's local and make sure they don't do that again because I know you get upset. But again, we're trying to say if you're ready to sell, we're definitely trying to reach you. That's the guts way to do it. I've done it. If you say, oh, fuck, I don't want to do that. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk. He's already upset. You already have a number. It's like if you just skip faced it.
Right.
I'm calling you back. Hey, yes, are you the owner of Main Street? Yeah, who's calling? Yes, my boss, Mike Gonzalez gave me this number, said, wanted to see if you were interested in selling that property. How'd you get my number? I don't know. He probably pays eco data from Google, some money to get data from public records. But he's driven by the property a couple of times. He did see a for sale by owner, but then he called that for sale by owner and said they were doing a survey. I don't know what the fuck that is. But what we're trying to see if you're the actual owner of the property, we're going to see if you're interested in selling now. So it's you're separating yourself from the person that put the for sale by owner, and you're actually somebody that drove by the house and saw a for sale by owner. But when you call that number, somebody's taking a survey. I don't know what that is. How'd you get my number? Well, my boss, Michael Gonzalez, gave me this number. How to get his number? I don't know. He probably pays somebody from Google, Echo Data, I think it was called. And you go to, I think Echo Data is actually a website if you Google it. That's how I got that number, that name, Echo Data, Echo something. So that it kind of creates more social proof. But you're saying that he gave it to you, and we just wanted to know if you're interested in selling. So now that's a warm lead. You can do it the way that you can call him and apologize, or as a brand new client, just from another number. So that's the two ways that I can do it, and it works. So going back to the sources, right? GMB is the SEO sources. That's the source. So it's you're texting, you RVM them, and then you, again, if you're by yourself, you might not be cold calling, but if you want to cold call yourself. RVM them, the drive for the bandit signs, and then you got the GMBs. What else that you can do as far as source? You got stickers. You go to Vistaprint. Vistaprint is probably gonna be $20 for like 1,000 stickers, right? So then now you're down to 190. So then $20 for stickers. So you're the one to 190. It's probably less than $20, but I'm putting 20. So you're down to 110 in actual SMSs or RVMs or etc. And also the other one, it's going to be the door hangers. Door hangers. If you order 1,000, I think it's like $50. It's more if you order. I ordered. The reason why I'm telling you, I ordered 5,000 for $300, but I paid the whole $300 at once.
Wow.
But again, if you do 5,000 and you have your areas, 5,000 divided by 12, so you're doing 416. So it's 5,000. So it's 5,000. 5,000 divided by $300.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it's $300 divided by 5,000. It's 0.6 cents per door hanger, right? So then you're doing 400 of those a month. So it's $24 of door hangers a month.
And you're putting the door hanger when you're putting the boxes too, or?
Door hangers are gonna be in houses that look nice, because you want people to answer it. So that's the door hanger. So that as you drive the area, houses that are vacant, you just get the address and take a picture maybe. Houses they're kind of messed up, but there's people there, you leave the door hanger. The door hanger. The other source is the stickers. So you got the stickers there. I already told you the stickers. The other source, what was it? The website for the Free Notary Public, SEO. So that's free, included there. So the websites. I had the other one. I just lost it. What's it called? I had another source in my mind. So you're doing bandit signs, you're doing text, you're doing RVMs, you're doing the drawing for the what's it called? The stickers, you're doing the door hangers, you're doing the websites, SEOs. What else? That's actually a contact. The Notary Public, which is free. The GMB. So that's 8 sources, and all of them are close to free.
Did you say the stickers already?
The stickers already. The stickers already. There was one more. The Free Notary Public that's already told you that's free. You got to make sure you're a Notary Public. Oh, and the boxes for the pre-foreclosures. That's free.
You already said county records, right? I don't think you.
The county records it's getting the data, right?
Okay.
But the actual context that you're doing as far as how you contacting the seller, it's gonna be, and the USPS boxes for free.
Right.
Just get a yellow pad, and so those are gonna be sent to the pre-foreclosures. Or you can send them to all of them. There's another hack which I did it, but then I didn't, because it's a lot of legwork. What's it called? Sending letters to people that have real bad houses. So you basically, it's weird the way you use it. You send the letter. Let's say you drive an area, right, and you see a house that's messed up, right? It has real tall grass, and there's really nice houses next door, right? So I'm pretty sure the neighbors hate that guy, right?
Yeah.
They hate it because it's the ugliest house in the neighborhood. You send them a letter from your neighbor, dear neighbor, right? It doesn't have a return address. I wanted to give you the cordial, what's it called? The cordial reminder that Again, we spoke to a couple of neighbors. Unfortunately, your house is the ugliest house in the area. And I know we've seen you. You don't know them, dude. We've seen you that you're struggling, you're trying to keep it up. But again, unfortunately, it comes to a point where it's become a sore eye to our neighborhood. Our neighborhood. We want to let you know that, again, we'll give you 30 days for you to fix it before we call violations the city for this and that.
Is this a call or is this
this letter?
Letter, okay.
This is a letter. So again, it's why expensive, because you can drop it off. I would rather drop it off physically when you're driving for dollars. Drop it off, because remember, you're dropping it off. This one's on bad neighborhoods, so it's gonna be a drive but on bad houses, ugly houses. So you already drove the area, right? But you're you put in the letter, right? And then guess what you're doing? You already skip trace the company, the store, right? The house, right? And now you want to see how can I push this guy to sell it? Let me write a bad neighbor note that the neighbor is gonna call the code violations. So then I mailed it today. I dropped it off today, Monday, right? So on Friday you're gonna call him again. Try to see if you can get a phone. He's like, yeah, hey, Mr. X, yeah, my boss drove that area. He's interested. If you might be open to seeing an offer. We just bought a property down the street on Main Street, and I know that guy was telling me that his house was real bad with cars in the driveway. And his neighbors were getting upset. What are you doing? You're literally reading the letter that he got to him. So you're letting him know, you're getting in front of him when the neighbors send him a letter that they're upset at him. So that's another best way to get him, to motivate him to say okay with it, to sell it to you, because the neighbors are not gonna call the code violations. So you see, you're pushing them to the edge, literally. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but you're literally pushing them to the edge.
Right. So when you're driving around, because I know like almost every time I call you, you're like always outside driving. How many hours do you drive per week?
Almost again, I can, on a daily basis, I might drive like 3-4 hours. Either going to look at the house, going to the post office, going to a title company, where else? Yeah, title company, anywhere. But I remember one of the things that I've learned a long time ago is drive it different areas. If you're gonna go to the post office, route 1, you're used to, use route 2, route 3, route 4, route 5. And again, so going back to this, boxes are free. Maybe you do a notepad is $5. So $5 for notepads. This is gonna be for the letters that for the USPS for the pre-foreclosures. So that's $195. So you're $105. So you literally, with $195, you do all your marketing channels, and you have $105 to do RVMs. That's a lot. That's a lot of RVMs. That's a lot.
Yeah.
If you, let's say if the average cost is gonna be a penny and a half, how many? Let me see.
It's actually about two pennies for the almost 2 pennies for the RVM.
Yeah, but like average, if I average the SMS and I average the SMS. So let's say a penny and a half, so it's $100 divided by 0.015. There's 6,600 contacts that you can do.
Yeah.
Again, if you only get 300 dials, 300 what's it called, leads a week, you can dial them probably 3 times. You can text them 3 times. You can call them, RVM them, etc. different ways.
Yeah,
but then
and another hack that especially because if you're only using $300, once you have the person contact you, you can use another phone to contact them, because you already know, like for example, use
that it's a real data,
like Google Voice or Text Now or whatever like that. Because once they call you back, it's not a warm lead, but you know that they're gonna respond to you, right? And you don't have to spend that 5 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute figuring it out, and that's that's 5 cents. That goes a long way, because that's also another contact point for you to keep doing that. And because they'll be like, well, how did you get my number? It's like, oh, you remember me? I called you or texted you earlier, and most likely you're the only person contacting them with that specific message. And it's like, why are you calling me from a different number? It's like, oh, we have plenty of different numbers. But yeah, this is my name, or I'm Alex. Hey, this is Alex. We were talking earlier. So can we go ahead and go in this conversation, and just assume that it's a daily thing? Yeah. Oh yeah, that was my personal line. This is my business number. Yeah. This is my business number. This is my personal line. and then that's free because it's like on a voice number, a Google Voice or a text now number, and you can reduce your costs like that a lot, as well.
Yeah,
that's what we do for rents.
okay, perfect. Yeah, definitely, man. So again, looking at that, you probably, again, I didn't even I mentioned it, but I didn't include the FSBO signs. If you get 5 FSBO signs for 5 properties that are dead, like you try to call and text and no one answers me. Again, $5 a month for five properties. If you put 5 signs every a month on each property that you see,
Right.
by the time you know it, you have 30 that are just waiting for you to call back. And not only that, you get buyers.
Yeah.
Buyers. I'm doing a survey. Again, this property might come into the market. What do you mean might? Like, yeah, that's what the guy that hired us said. What's his name? Robert Trevino. But yeah, what we're doing is doing this.
Would you do this extra step? I know this is a little bit daring because you already did this. Would you, let's say, create a website and like post those houses on your website as like, this is our inventory, but not really? Like if somebody calls to take it down, would you go that extra step? Because that's,
I wouldn't. The reason why I wouldn't, because again, that's more trackable than a phone number. And most of these people don't know how to track. They wouldn't go that way to actually track. But again, I try to separate myself as much as possible. And when there's a website, they can call. If it gets to it, they can have more evidence.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the website is different from a phone number. For a phone number, I can literally be my employee.
Right.
And again, when they get called, always be ready to give an employee number. And my name is Alex Rodriguez, employee number 3526.
3526.
Make it up. Make it up. But again, make it up. But when you say it, it sounds confident. Who do you work for? Well, actually, I used to work for AT&T and T-Mobile, but I got fired due to COVID. And this guy found me through Craigslist. And all we do is he liked the way I interviewed him when he called me and everything. What number did he call you from? Actually, I called them to a Google Voice number. Make something up like that. So you separate yourself from him as much as possible. But yeah, you see, so you're literally at $200 in actual cost to do things, from the FSB signs, the notepads, the door hangers, the stickers, the bandit signs, which is that's the highest one, bandit signs. The reply, the what's it called, the websites, all that stuff is there. As far as your phone number, your phone too. Let me answer this call. Hello. Well, yeah, but what I do, our company put our number and our name that I buy houses. But yeah, they keep on calling me about it to see if I'm owning it. I don't know who the owner is. Yeah. All right, brother. And that's another source of leads. I didn't even tell you this. So there's a couple of buildings that are abandoned in my area, right? They're in really good areas, but they're abandoned. There's one locally that's abandoned, right? What I did, I bought a $1, $2 shoe shine, white shoe shine, not shoe shine, to color your what's it called, your shoes if they're white. And I buy houses. I put that on old abandoned buildings that have glass. I have one on an abandoned car that's been there for a long time. I buy houses on the windshield. I get calls from him. Trust me, my number's out there. Like, and usually they come like that. Like, he wants, hey, are you selling the building? No, actually, we put I buy houses on it. Not that we own the building, but I've had a lot of calls. People asking if I own that building. That's another hack, another lead source. Putting my number on abandoned buildings in the glass. And it's literally like washable color. You damage it. No, it's not damage. If you want to remove it, I'll just go with water and a paper and it'll go away. But it's another lead source. Remember, you want to have as much tentacles of your number out there, and don't switch the number. Your bandit signs, your dime for dollars, your bandit signs, your stickers, your door hangers, everything. The website has to have your same number so you can build brand awareness.
How do you usually deal? Because I'm pretty sure if somebody's new and they're doing this bandit sign strategy and putting it up in abandoned buildings and stuff like that, how do you deal with, your competition coming in and taking it down? Because I know you had a strategy for how to confront that specific person.
Yeah.
But they still took it down anyways.
Yeah, they just took it down. So basically what I do, I just put it higher and consistent. Remember, for you, it's 100 bandit signs. That's 20 bandit signs a week consistently. So it's 20. If they take it down, you can put 5 a day, or you can put 5 a day, or you can put 20 in the weekend. It's up to you. You put it on Friday night so they can stay a couple of days. Of course, the guys that are kind of taking it down will try to take it down on Friday or Saturday, because that's when there's no code violations. But you're gonna, again, consistency will kill your competition, because you're gonna put it every week religiously, 20 bandit signs. And like I'm telling you, mines are staying longer out there. So when I drive, like a couple of days ago I drove, they were up there already. They're still up there. So I literally just drove, driving for dollars, literally, because I went to see all my signs there. And once you fluttered your area, just go further away. So you see, with $200 a month, and just that's gonna be your marketing cost, you can do all the data source and just $100 to text blast and RVM your leads. And again, if you don't have $300, man, $300, you can find $300. Buy a fucking credit card and you can do $300 times what? Times 12. That's around what? $3,600. On if you max out your credit card, $3,600, it will probably be around $50 a month. So you're literally running your whole company within the credit card if you max it out. And again, if you don't get a deal within a year, that means there's something wrong that you're doing. Trust me, there's something wrong. If you don't get a deal within a year with all these marketing channels, you're doing something wrong. It's not the business, it's you.
For this 300 a month strategy, how many hours do you think that person should commit to it? Because it is a lot of
as many as possible. Remember, if you have a 9 to 5, most people do. Let's say you have a 9 to 7, because let's say 9 to 10, 9 to 8, because that's when you go home at 5, you eat, you shower, whatever. By 8 p.m. you were free, right? Almost everything here, skip tracing, with already applied tech blasting, all that can be done at night. You can set up at night. Bandit signs, you put them at night. Door hangers, I wouldn't recommend you put in door hangers at night, because I think you're doing it wrong. Door hangers, you put them on the weekend. If you do 400, you do 100 a week. 100 a week door hangers. Stickers everywhere. When you go to the convenience store, when you go to the pump gas, when you go to the ATM, when you go to the doctor, remember the stickers are super small. They're like this small. I made it where for $20 you can get like 3,000 stickers, but that's small. Wow. They're like 2 inches. But remember, you're not putting it in where you put it in where people put their hands when they pull the door, when they're in the ATM, when they're looking at the gas pump, everywhere. So you should blast your whole area with stickers. At the Watermill Express, when you buy water, anywhere. When you go to the restaurant at a convenience store, when you do a restroom, you put it on there. Anywhere, you blast the whole area with stickers. That is during your 9 to 5. Driving for dollars is within your 9 to 5 during lunch. Stop, eat for 10 minutes, and then go drive for dollars. Bandit signs at night. I rather play at night. Website building and learning at night. The driving for dollars during your lunchtime. The for sale by owners during the weekends. Door hangers during the weekends. Bandit signs during the weekends. So yeah, you have ample time, because remember, we have what is it, 160 hours a week. What is it? Let me see. 24 times 7, 168 hours a week that we have. You take away 9 to 5, let's say 9 to 8. What's that? 11 hours times 7. Actually, 11 hours times 5. That's 55 hours, right? In work. And this is where you're like, well, I don't have time. Backtrack it. 55 hours, giving your family 3 hours. Giving your family 6 hours. 3 hours in the morning, we wake up early, and 3 hours in the afternoon. That's 55. Then you sleep. Let's say you sleep 8 hours times 7. That's 56 hours in sleeping. So you're literally sleeping more than 56 hours in sleep. Sleep, work, and family. So you're down to your 56. Now you look at what else? Commuting. Let's go another hour in commuting from work and to home. So that's 7 hours in commuting, right? Well, 5 hours, because you don't work on the weekends. So far you got 56 plus 55 plus 5 equals minus 168. You got 52 hours left a week to do this business that I'm telling you. A week. That means you have the whole weekend. You slept already, but you have the whole weekend to do this. You have the nights to do this. You have during the lunch hour to do this. It's just got to be disciplined. And like if you're disciplined, you'll be successful at this. That's the only key. But it's possible. And with $300, it's possible. Don't buy a car. Just get a used car and pay it cash. Don't have a note car payment. Internet should be almost free. If you go to your local library, they might have a free hotspot for you to have. Your phone line should be $10. Again, just Tello, you can do $10. And yeah, minimize your costs. Don't go out to eat. Again, eat at home, because you're trying to make yourself hungry so you can go be hungry to go out there and be successful. But you see the breakdowns again. I wish we probably need next time. We can do a better video with more time as far as exactly how to break it down. But yeah, like it's feasible, man. And if you make, let's say I want to just do 20, and all this is just to do 20 deals, man. 20 deals. It's the Justin. You gotta have the Justin to be able to learn. But again, if you just go back on my videos, it's free. How to talk to clients, etc. So you can get the guts to talk to clients the right way. But 20 deals, let's say your average, let's say you're not that great at talking, but 20 deals and you make 10K a deal, that's 200K a year. It's a doctor's salary right there. You remove the $300. What are you doing? $300? $300 times 12, that's $3,600. So you're making 196,000 a year. You remove 20K in taxes, 196 divided by minus taxes, minus 20,000 in taxes. Well, actually 20% in taxes. 196 times 0.80, 156K a year. 156, that's what you're making after taxes doing this. And then you can literally, once you do this and you make this for a couple of years and you leave your job, don't go spending 156 just because you earn $156,000. Again, learn how to make sure you adjust. You actually spend less money. When you, like me, when I became an entrepreneur by myself, I actually spend less money. So again, that's what you do. You spend less money. And then once you quit your job, you go full time. Instead of being $300 a month, you do $600 a month. Simple. $600 a month, double the texting, add 2 or 3 more counties, double everything, double the bandit signs, double the stickers, double the what's it called, the FSBO signs, double the county searches, and now you're making 40 deals. And then if you improve from 10 to 15K, now those 40 deals at 15K, it's 40. It's 40. It's 600K a year. Like, come on, it's simple math. I mean, it's so simple. And you go from $300 a month to $600 a month. Because once you prove a concept, if I can make 20 deals with $300 a month, I can probably make an extra 20 deals with another $200 a month. Maybe I have to go to another county, do the same thing and replicate in another county. And then you might want to hire a VA if you want to do your scraping part. Scraping can be done at night. That's why I'm telling, part of that, I didn't put the scraping data, knowing your county, everything can be done at night. Again, you're going to have to offset not sleeping 8 hours so you can actually work at night. You know what I mean? And even though I put it here, with the 52 hours, you still have your sleep, 8 hours of sleep. You just allocate the certain, let's say you do 10 hours on the weekends, 10 hours like a full time. So that's 20 hours. So you got 32 hours to do it within the week. So if you do 32 hours divided by 5, you do 6 hours a week. That means you're sleeping. Go ahead.
When you said the earlier you're texting at nighttime, what do you mean specifically with that? Is there a range where you like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock? Because I know it's actually against TCPA.
No. You don't text at nighttime. You set up your campaigns at nighttime.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, you can set up all this. That's why the value of outright reply. You can set up your campaigns at nighttime. And then all you do is you look at your replies. Yeah. You set up the right way. You don't hear the FQs. you set up your template. So who's this? You text it back. Who's this? Whatever. I don't recommend you doing triggers. If you want to, you can do triggers if you're working 9 to 5, because again, you want to be able to be there when you reply to them, right? So triggers automatically sense. The good ones, reply yourself. Copy the template, but reply yourself so you can be aware of, okay, they might reply to me right away. They might call me back right away. So that's why you want to wait to do the triggers. Don't do the triggers yet because you're working at 9 to 5. What else? So yeah, everything can be set up at night within our write a reply, text and RVM them. Again, the RVMs, set them up 1 or 2 a day, 1 or 2 every 2 minutes. You might get a call. Again, depending on the job you do. Again, if you get a call, you don't answer it, but reply to it right away via text. Hey, sorry, man, I'm with the client right now. Can I call you back in 10 minutes? And then make 10 minutes to go talk to him. Because the conversation is going to be 5 minutes. If it's a good deal, it's going to be 5. If it's a FU, it's going to be 1. 30 seconds.
Right. I know you've gone over the basic script with me before, but can you go over the general 2 or 3, 4 lines, the main questions, the main guts questions you ask when they call for the first time? So
like you heard it right now. Yeah, right. The one that I'm using now is yeah, my boss, Robert Trevino, he mailed you guys a package, an offer package. Like he said, it's a BS, we never mailed anything. But I described it to make a view on his face. And he said, yeah, it was a green envelope, probably it wasn't flat. Again, green envelope the color pops out. It wasn't flat, that pops out. It had something bulky in there. I think it has a keychain. But I don't know if you saw it. And it actually had an offer inside there. Did you get it? Pattern interrupt. No, I didn't get it. Okay, perfect. Well, what it was is my boss bought a property in the area. Map it real quick. On Orange Street, 3 streets down. You know where that McDonald's is at? Yeah, perfect. So he mapped the area. He hired us to do marketing. I don't know if you're interested in open to seeing an offer for him to buy it from you. He's like, yeah, okay, perfect. So perfect. I'm open to seeing it. What was the offer range? Okay, let me check. Okay, remember you're in the phone, right? Know your area. Part of knowing your area is knowing your silo, knowing your estimates. Then you go to, okay, if you know a house's estimate is 100, and the what's called the tax value is probably, let's say 50, 60. You offer, well, I think the offer range was from 58,930 to 79,320. Does that offer range work? He's like, well, no, it doesn't. Okay, do you have a number in mind? He's like, no, I don't, because you called me. No, I understand, but again, more or less, do you have a number in mind? Again, if you ask me for my property, for my house that I've been living there for the last 10 years, I'll tell you more or less what I want. He's like, no, I don't have. Okay, perfect. Guess what that is? It's a warm lead going forward. If they say, yeah, that lead works for you, that number range offers perfect. Well, let me do this. Let me talk to my boss, and then let me set up according to what's called a walkthrough. Does the morning at 10 work or the afternoon at 4? Remember, you're working. So does the Saturday at 10 a.m. work, or during the weekend after 5? I know you might have a job with your wife. Okay, perfect, it works. And then when you show up, he might recognize your voice or not. Then you tell him your name. You're Alex when you answered. Now let's say you don't want to be Alex. Now you want to be, you're not Robert either. You're not the owner. You're the partner of Robert. He's like, yeah, I'm Robert's partner. You spoke to Alex earlier this weekend. Most clients, they might not even answer. They might not even recognize your voice. And it's happened to me when they don't even recognize your voice. So then you go walk through it. And then if you like it, remember that 58 to 78, it's a price range that works already. You go with the contract. Okay, Mr. Schroeder. So we definitely, when we go there on Saturday at 5 p.m., again, couple of things that we ask is that if you're 100% behind the sale, again, if we come to a number that makes sense within that range, are you ready to agree and us to continue buying your property, or you still got to think about it? It's like, well, I might have to think about it. Well, if you say you might still got to think about it, is there any reason why you wouldn't agree to a price that fits your range? Well, I got to run it by my wife. Okay, perfect. Is there any way that she can be there with us as well? Again, the thing is that my boss is real frugal with his money. He's real stingy. He wants to make sure that if he goes in there, or if he sends me to go with you to meet you, that we have an agreement. Of course, if we agree within the price range, either agree to sell it or agree to not sell it. The thing that we don't want to work with is, let me call you back, or let me think about it. Again, usually the reason why they say they think about it is 2 things, Mr. Is that they don't like me, or they didn't like the price. And most likely it's the price, because again, we'll try to be as professional as possible with you. So if you're okay telling me the price doesn't work when we're there and there, if it doesn't work. But again, remember, I'm giving you a price range, and within the price range, you're gonna lock it up. So you're doing the initial close over the phone. Yes, I agree too. If it's within a price that I like, it's the range. Of course, if it's from 50 to 100 and I offer you 50 and you don't want it, then I can offer 60, 70, 80 until it makes sense. Because remember, the 50 to 100 is a pricing that works already. So then you lock it up at 80 to say, boom, at 80. Like the property that I told you that I went through the, what's it called? Through the text RBM was the property. I gave her a range between 69 to 84, to 94, and then locked it up at 71. And that one's gonna be, I'll probably sell like a 95, 96. So the price, so I could have locked it up at 90 and I can sell it for 96 and make 3K. Right? But again, that was my range. But those are the costs, how it goes, how you actually conversate. That's my guts. Again, you don't ask any condition wise yet. If you might want to ask what I tell them, we can do the 58 to 78, 58 to, I usually want to get a 40K gap if a house is worth than 150. So if it's 100, if the silo says 150, the appraisal district has at 100, I want to be between probably like 70 to 120. That's 50K gap, right? And then I tell them we can be between 70 to 120 depending after our actual physical walkthrough. What does that consist? Well, we gotta go measure this. I mean, but as long as that buy box fits you, it's a deal. Because you're going back to, you should already know where your buyers are at, where they're buying at. But that's your buy box for you, right? So yeah, that's the way the conversation goes. On the text, the same thing. Well, we have an offer range. Well, here I have here from my boss. He has an offer range for that property from 58,750 to 92,230, depending on the condition review. Does that work for you? Let me know. And then
I like the pattern interrupt, because even if you didn't leave a package and you're saying, well, do you remember that package? Like, yeah, the one. They're like, no, I don't remember.
They're trying to.
Well,
they're
perfect.
They're trying to. Did I get it? And maybe you don't know. What if somebody else sent a We Buy Houses at letter? You know what I mean? You're using other people's marketing to be able to leverage it, and it works.
Yeah,
all right, Vic.
Next week we can deep dive into that a little bit more. But
yeah, if you want to, we definitely deep dive on how to make money with 300K a month, 300 bucks a month. But yeah, man, thanks a lot for again, the things that I've learned from you so far has been great, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, let's keep on growing. Like you said, you learn from me and I learn from you. And if you have any questions again during the week, let me know. Again, I have a couple of things that I got to work for as far as what we spoke to about to do for the week, and I'll basically do them and see how I work out.
Yeah, especially fix the SMS first, because that's the most urgent thing.
Yeah,
for you.
because it's what's it called? It might be hurting my expenses.
Yeah, because like if you're, because I don't know what the other one, because we only looked at one, but if it's only 70, the other 30% you're losing a lot of, let's just say today was, I don't know, $5 or something. So basically you lost like $1 something.
Yeah, and that's it
stacks,
doesn't look like a lot.
Stacks.
Yeah, but overall it does. All right, my guy. If you have anything else during the week, let me know, brother. Again, enjoy your weekend. Right. Thank you for being here for 3 hours, bro. We were here 3 hours.
Yeah, it didn't seem like 3 hours.
No, right. it doesn't. And when you talk about real estate, the time flies, dude.
All right, man.
All right, be safe, man. Enjoy your weekend.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Likewise, bro.